I grew up in the shadows of the Gator Bowl, and my dream as a kid was to be a Florida Gator.
I was born in the shadows of the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas, but I always had dreams of playing in the SEC.
I always knew about the Florida-Georgia game.
It's a huge game in the SEC.
Hand off to Red, he dives, he's over, touchdown!
Last year, my first start in my hometown. I was hurt.
He'll stay in the eye.
I was nervous.
Chapless goes in motion.
But I was ready.
Handed to no shot.
They scored first.
He dives, stretches out, touchdown!
Then it happened.
And look at the entire Georgia offense coming off.
That's the whole team.
I can't believe it. They're throwing a flag, and I don't think anybody cares.
I've never seen that in my life.
Urban says, are you guys ready? It's going to be a fight.
So we meet again.
For first place in the SEC East. We will always remember.
We will never forget.
I don't believe that just happened.
Oh my gosh! Are you kidding me? For the win. He did it!
We welcome you to the Home Depot SEC on CBS. You see part of the crowd that will exceed 80,000 in Jacksonville, and you sense a certain determination in the eyes and gestures of both quarterbacks. Tim Tebow with a chance to hug his family. Matthew Stafford a little more stoic as he enters the stadium. Urban Meyer, a certain enthusiasm detected there. For Mark Richt, a business trip in a significant game between these two outstanding football teams. It's the SEC on CBS from Jacksonville. The Florida Gators 6-1, and the Georgia Bulldogs come in with one defeat as well. And here comes Georgia. Dressed in white, first time this year, the Florida Gators. It's got a certain feel to it, doesn't it? Good afternoon, everybody. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson. There is so much to demand your attention for this game. Both teams ranked in the top 10, both playing as well as they have all season, both with outstanding quarterbacks, terrific running games, wonderful special teams. You get the idea. And so much at stake this afternoon. Let's take a look at the current SEC East standings. Georgia and Florida tied. The winner of this game takes a huge step toward getting to the SEC title game in Atlanta and remains very much in anybody's conversation for a BCS championship game later in the year. Gary, let's talk a little bit about the much discussed demonstration by Georgia last year. Does that have a lingering impact?
You know, Vern, usually I say no. I always go X's and O's in talent, but we were here. I mean, this was significant. Georgia called out Florida. Florida has to stand up now. I mean, they got to answer that. Dominance has shifted a little bit. They're reacting to Georgia. I think if Georgia's going to win this football game, they're going to have to beat Florida at the very best. You know, Vern, usually I like working a game. I'm looking forward to watching this game.
You know, in a game between such evenly matched opponents, where do you see the difference and where might it occur?
You know, I knew you'd ask me that, and I spent all week doing interviews and trying to figure out what would be the key, and I came up with 30, 40, 50 different things. And if this playing deck was all the different possibilities, draw out a possibility for me, Vern.
All right. It says height at receiver for Georgia.
It could be. It could be anything. That's the point. I'll tell you what it will be, though. The joker in this game is the Florida special teams. That's the joker. if Georgia doesn't match the Joker, the special teams, they won't win this game.
You know, there's so much at stake, I'm not surprised he was upside down.
Either way.
Let's go down to Tracy Wolfson on the sideline. Trace?
Thanks, guys. After the touchdown celebration last year, you'd expect a lot of trash talking this week, but there's been nothing, no bulletin board material whatsoever. That's because both coaches issued gag orders on their players, specifically Urban Meyer, who's been downplaying the incident all week. That's in his autobiography, an authorized biography called Urban's Way. Meyer swore vengeance, saying that wasn't right. It was a bad deal, and it will forever be in the mind of Urban Meyer and the football team. He said, so we'll handle it, and it's going to be a big deal. Well, guys, so far I haven't seen any sign of retaliation down here, but no one knew Georgia had anything up their sleeve.
All right, Tracy, thank you so much. This game and all SEC college football games brought to you in crystal clear CBS high definition. We've had overcast skies through much of the day, blue breaking through a little bit, temperature perfect 71 degrees, and the forecast high thin clouds overhead. Georgia leads the series. Florida has won 15 of the last 18, or you can flip that. Georgia has won 2 of the last 4. Tim Tebow injured in this game. He played without the use of his non-throwing shoulder a year ago and was sacked 6 times. Caleb Sturgis will kick off for Florida. Florida won the toss and they deferred to the second half. And here is the return. Ramarcus Brown, nothing. Positive start, special teams. Moses Jenkins, number 36, with the tackle.
The cover units for Florida are just laden with speed. They get down, they play their fastest guys on there. They've got a bunch of fast guys, and they're all out in their special teams, especially kickoff coverage and punt return.
In the win at LSU last week, Matthew Stafford might have played his best game ever as a Georgia quarterback. He's 25-4 as a starter, first down and 10. Play fake, Stafford. Inside, nothing there. Justin Tratto, number 94, with the tackle. Let's take a look at the offensive starting lineup for Georgia, presented by Chick-fil-A. Bowling, Glenn, Jones, Davis, and Anderson, a very young team, but they played so well they've only allowed 1 sack in the last 3 games. Massaquoi, Marino, Chappis, Figgins, and A.J. Green, the outstanding freshman wide receiver. Backs in the eye. Handoff, Marino, cuts back, nothing. Another positive sign for Florida.
Yeah, I guess.
You think?
Yeah. Brandon Spikes read that play. It's an 8-man front for Florida. 188 yards last year for Marino. First 2 plays this year, minus yards and minus yards. Mr. Spikes, that ball was forced back to the middle linebacker exactly the way you're supposed to do it. Now, very careful for Georgia. You do not want to ignite this field any more than now.
Stafford has thrown 5 interceptions for the season. He looks at a 3rd and 14 here.
Yeah, they moved. They're going to go 5 more.
Well, this is in direct contrast to what we saw last year. Penn
Right to the
Wagers.
snap. False start. 89 on the offense. 25 yards. Down remains 3rd.
And let's check the Florida defense, which is off to such a great start here. Tratto, Marsh, Sanders, and Cunningham, the linebackers. You've seen Brandon Spikes in the middle already, Ryan Stamper and A.J. Jones. And in the secondary, Jenkins, a true freshman, Black, Wright, and Joe Hayden. 3rd and 18. Florida has 3 down, they send 4. And Georgia keeps it on the ground and will be forced to punt. 3 and out for the Bulldogs.
All right, and nobody go get anything to drink right now. Florida blocked the first 2 punts of last week's games.
They also had a blocked field goal. Brandon James, who has returned 2 this year for touchdowns, awaits the punt of Brian Mims. Now, last week, Mims, 5 punts, 50-plus yards.
The problem is if you stay too tight for protection, then Brandon James gets the ball for a return.
4 punt returns for touchdown in his career. High, very high, fair catch. Brandon James, Florida will take over with a first down and 10 in great position at their own 42-yard line. Tim Tebow won the Heisman last year, lurking in the background of any discussion about the Heisman this year, but lurking is the operative word. Told us earlier this week, I'm much more of a manager this week, and boy is he emotional about this game. 6 sacks a year ago. And Percy Harvin does open at tailback alongside Tim Tebow, number 1.
You don't think these players are juiced? Look what's happening early in this game. I think Carl Johnson, left guard, moved that time, number 57.
Ben Wager's going to make sure he gets the number right.
Prior to the snap, false start, 57 on the offense, 75 yards.
It was Carl Johnson, 5 yards, 1st and 15. Now Jeff Demps, who has had a wonderful series of games recently.
Florida starting out no huddle. The sophistication of the Georgia defense, maybe Florida's trying to simplify them with no huddle.
That's Demps, number 2. Gets the handoff, tries the middle, picks up about 3. Well, make it 2. Florida's offense, you've met Tim Tebow. Wager, this is the fastest offense in the country. And up front, you've got the slow guys. Troutwine, Johnson, the Pouncey twins, true sophomores now. Watkins at right tackle. Now we get into the speed. Murphy and Harvin and Demps. Tate Casey and Riley Cooper, the other wide receiver. Harvin is in the backfield alongside Tebow on 2nd down, 13. Now he splits wide to the left. Tebow goes for Harvin, nice catch. Defensively for the Bulldogs. They were gashed in the second half at LSU last week. 8 plays for 234 yards. Up front, Wynn, Irvin, Atkins, and Rod Battle. Linebackers, Darrell Gamble had a wonderful game. Rennie Curran, 14 tackles last week. It's Miller, Bird, Jones, and Asher Allen in the secondary.
Now this is the spot where Tebow is usually the ball carrier. Going to take an early timeout.
Tentative start for both teams. Time call. Well, August 7 out parading before the crowd, decided to get back in the cage and rest. He couldn't stand what he was seeing. 3rd down. Florida losers in this game 42-30 a year ago. Here's Tebow, quarterback draw.
Tebow, gotta stop Tebow.
Got it.
3rd and medium, you know he's going to get the ball. Not very hard. You got a Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback right there. From behind, notice so far also, Florida's not taking those big wide splits early in this football game. They do that more when they run the option game with Demps and Rainey in there. They create more space because of the smaller players.
Tim Tebow tied with Emmitt Smith career touchdowns rushing for this Florida team, each with 36. Now Tebow looks back over at the bench for the play being signaled in by John Brantley. Chris Rainey is on the field, number 3. Rainey gets it, starts right, cuts left, and is tackled at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Geno Atkins did a nice job of beating. Now look at the difference in the splits in the LSU game than the Tennessee game than we did early. Look at how wide the Florida players are, how tight they were. So far in the game, they've been the top picture of the tight splits. Now you know they got the other package.
What is the advantage of the wide
They're going to try to create more space for their littler players when they run their veer. They do now run the veer offense that maybe like Georgia Tech or Navy runs out of this spread.
Rainey gets the handoff from Tebow. Whoa!
Both defenses are so on their game right now.
That one by C.J. Bird, number 5, strong safety for Georgia.
Really get the feeling that the safeties are running this game, both for Florida and for Georgia. Bird, a strong safety, made the play. Both quarterbacks are going to have to loosen up these defenses. I think both defensive coordinators said, you're not going to beat me running the ball first. You're going to have to show me you can pass.
Now Urban Meyer goes with his 4th running back, Keaston Moore, number 33. Lined up to the left. Here's Tebow out of the spread. That's Moore now alongside. Tebow on 3rd and 11, motion right tackle.
I tell you, both teams are really just wired.
Yep.
Wired. And that usually gives the advantage to the defense early in a game. You find teams, when you're wired on defense, you play with your hair on fire.
False start. Offensive line, penalty 5 yards, down lane 3rd.
Now the offense has to kind of settle down and be precise. You got to have the right footwork. You got to work as a unit. 1 or 2 defensive guys break an assignment like Geno Atkins did last time. Get in the backfield, you can stop a play. Offense, you got to have 10, 11 guys working together.
Florida and Georgia both heavily penalized teams in SEC play. On 3rd down, here's Tebow back. Little screen pass, nothing there. This is Asher Allen, number 2, 4th down.
Smart on both teams, I think. Both offenses said we're not willing to make a big mistake early in this game. Both teams went with the screen draws on 3rd and long. Let the game settle down. Let the offense kind of get their feet planted.
On 4th down, Georgia sends 3rd-string quarterback Logan Gray back at the 10-yard line. The punt will be from Chaz Henry. Gray is one of 5 punt returners who have played in this role for the Georgia Bulldogs, and Logan Gray comes up and makes a fair catch. 36-yard punt. Nothing on the return. 8 minutes, 11 to go, first quarter. Mark Richt has maintained silence about that celebration during this week, the buildup. But at the SEC Media Days last summer, he talked about his insistence that he only meant for 11 guys to celebrate.
This is the truth. My intention was for 11 guys who were on the field, if we scored a touchdown in the first half, to celebrate hard enough for the officials to throw a flag. I said, I'm going to let y'all celebrate, but it's not an individual celebration, it's a team celebration. I'm talking about 11 guys team. That's what I'm talking about. Well, those guys heard, I guess they heard team meaning everybody. I was as shocked as anybody when they left the sideline. And would I ever direct the entire team to leave the bench and go celebrate? No. I never have, and I never will.
And he maintained silence this week. He did reissue a 700-word statement about that little fracas.
Yeah, can I say, though, it worked. Georgia won that football game, and it promoted them all the way up to being preseason #1 this year. That play worked.
First down 10, Matthew Stafford backs in the eye. 2nd possession for the Dogs. Play fake across the middle deep. Massaquoi. Great play. Massaquoi to the 48 of Florida.
That's what you got to do. You knew they were going to have to throw the ball, the quarterbacks. You got 8 men in the box. They're going to force it to you. You've got a pro quarterback playing college football, and Massaquoi is running his routes and catching the ball now. This 1-2 combination of wide receivers. You know what it reminds me of, Vern? I watched the Michigan tape against Florida last year. This Georgia offense reminds me of the Michigan offense that just ran up and down the field against Georgia in the Cap One Bowl game.
That's a 32-yard game. Play fake again. Stafford with a lot of time. Massaquoi. And there was a good defensive play by Joe Hayden. There is a flag back at the 43-yard line in the vicinity of Matthew Stafford.
Boy, did he have time to throw. That was about a 4-second pass. And this is a young offensive line that's been switched around. Now watch this, how long he has to throw the ball, and a real late dumb hit.
Penalty Penalty be 15 yards, automatic, first down.
Justin Tratow that time coming around. Gets there late. Ball's going 2, 3 extra steps almost. And that's just an obvious one.
How about this pass distribution for this team?
You don't see much like this anymore. This is about like football in the 70s. You know, maybe the way the Oakland Raiders used to throw the ball, or the Pittsburgh Steelers. So much to the wide receivers, little tight end, little running backs. Stafford goes downfield. Stafford out of the spread on first down, right side, perfectly placed pass. It's caught right side, and another first down for Georgia. Knowshon Moreno. And let's go back to Tim Brando in New York.
All right, Vern, the ACC's Coastal Division just got tighter. Miami went ahead on this Ja'Cory Harris 9-yard pass to Aldarius Johnson in overtime. And then Cedric Pierman fumbles for the Cavs. And Miami wins at Virginia, Georgia Tech, Miami, all at 3-2 in ACC Coastal play. Vernon Gary, back to you.
First down 10, Georgia threatening now inside the 20. I formation. Hand off on the draw. Moreno gets a block on the edge from Ben Jones to center.
Look at this guy.
And Moreno spins and drives down near the 10-yard line.
This is a wonderfully designed play, and believe me, it was designed. This ball started one way, but it was a designed cutback. Look at the center, Ben Jones coming the other way. So all of the flow, it was the Georgia play using the Florida flow and working against them. Wonderfully designed play.
Caleb King, number 4, will give Moreno a rest. He's had back-to-back games that he's 335 yards on the ground his last 2 games.
And that's how they finished last year when Moreno caught fire.
2 tight ends on second down and 3. Stafford play action. Jumps up, there's a flag. We might have a holding call on the Georgia offensive line.
Well, I gave Bobo all the credit, but this was a curious call right here. You know, I could see a quick pass, but a drop back pass, now you're going to get holding other and risk a sack. 2nd and 2. Boy, I'm surprised by that one.
Mike Bobo, the offensive coordinator under Mark Richt.
You know, Stafford could have helped the play right there by just throwing that ball away, too.
Holding. 61 on the offense. That penalty declined. 3rd down.
That is only the 2nd sack of Matthew Stafford now in the last 3 games and 1 quarter.
Right. You know, in that situation, it's the one thing Mike Bobo told us, that Matthew made a mistake in the Alabama game, trying to do too much. When they felt that he was doing way too much. And on that one, Stafford tried to do too much.
Loss of 6, 3rd and 8. Michael Moore wearing number 26 this afternoon.
Oh, look at the double coverage out here.
Stafford kept it. That will go as a sack, even though it looked like a running play. And so back-to-back sacks for Florida. This one, Teron Sanders and Brandon Spikes.
I'll tell you another thing. That's the 3rd heavy hit that Stafford has taken in this football game. Remember the roughing the passer, the sack, and now this one. I watched him come to the bench. He's taking some rocks here, and it's a long game yet.
Blair Walsh, freshman kicker, 12 of 17 for the year. This from 37 yards out.
Nope, he missed that, baby. Wow. Got it off, had it in there, and spun it wide.
Blair Walsh now 2 of 4 from between the 30s and 40s this year. Regional action tomorrow, the NFL on CBS. Jets at Buffalo, Houston at Minnesota, Baltimore, Cleveland, Jacksonville at Cincinnati. The late game featuring Greg Gumbel and Dan Deerdorf, Miami at Denver. It all begins with the NFL Today tomorrow at noon Eastern Time. No score. Blair Walsh missed from 37 yards, and Tebow and the Florida offense were starting position of the ball game. They've got it. First down and 10. Jeff Demps, the freshman. Gets the handoff, spilled as he gets out near the 24-yard line. Jeffrey Demps, true freshman, talked about the speed on this Florida offense. He has really, really come on in the last 3 or 4 games.
Well, most everybody knows this. When it was the second half and almost really the fourth quarter of the Arkansas game over 3 games ago, that kind of Florida found an antidote to their stalled offense, and that was moving the speed inside and running the veer basically with their speed and handing it off to them. You know, in reality now, Tebow and Percy Harvin are the second option in this offense.
Now you've got 2 freshmen in there.
There's the veer.
Yep. And this time it's Demps going, or Rainey rather, going to the left side. Well, some offenses evolve, Gary.
Right. And actually Urban Meyer preaches this. Remember 3 years ago, Latchko was added to the backfield as the extra fullback that got it going. Of course, 2006, there was the 2-quarterback system with Tebow running short yardage. Remember Cornelius Ingram last year? He was the X factor, but Tebow just kind of rewrote the spread record books. And now this year, they moved the little guys into the backfield. But today, for some reason, Florida has not gone to the wide splits and opened it up.
Harvin in motion left on 3rd down and 1. Tebow being chased. That's going to be close. At the 31-yard line. See where they spot it.
Well, I thought Rennie Curran had this play and got held on it, to tell you the truth, by Phil Trautwein, number 75. Watch Trautwein. Curran comes inside. Watch Trautwein with his right arm grab him. He did. He grabbed him. That saved the play. Number 35 would have made the play in the backfield. Trautwein got away with one there.
First down.
That happens. You got to be a good holder to play on the offensive line.
Anybody come to mind that you played with?
Anybody I did play with.
Well, look at Tim Tebow now, a junior. 85% of his short yardage carries, first down or touchdown. Now Keyston Moore back in.
I wonder if they're going to review this spot. Yes, they are.
So Penn Wagers will. What do you suppose Mark Richt was discussing?
The Georgia coach is challenging the last spot.
And it is the chances of getting an overrule with a coach's challenge is down in the 8-10%. It does not happen very often. His knee went down before the line. This might be a good challenge by Mark Richt. And then the ball fell forward.
See the ball there just across the 30-yard line.
His knee comes down, and then he falls across the line. Watch, coming up right. Now the knee's down, and the ball's not, and you can see where the first down is, way across the line.
Right.
I think it's going to be 4th and short.
Ben Oldham is our replay official today. He walked a long way to get here. Got caught in traffic on the other side of one of the bridges.
Prior to this, the coach's challenge in the SEC has been 1 for 8. That means they've been overruled 1 out of 8 times so far. This could be 2 for 9. Give you a hint, when it takes a long time, usually they're going back to see where to mark the ball.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Whoa!
First down.
Oh, Mark is upset. Mark is really upset. Now, remember, you have to have proof that it has to be reviewed. Well, I thought his knee was down and the ball was not across the line. I have to be honest.
There's the knee.
Knees down and not across the line.
And Georgia is called for a timeout.
One for 9.
I don't like the odds.
Well, it was a good challenge. I agree with Mark Richt. Somebody up in the booth told him, hey, his knee was down. So it was a good challenge.
Challenge denied. Georgia charged with a timeout. Both teams now with 2 timeouts remaining. And they'll run the sweep. Percy Harvin comes right. Watch out. Remember earlier this summer talking with Percy Harvin about the speed of this team, and Tebow said he's still the fastest with the ball in his hands.
Well, I tell you, he's so dangerous. Different guys. Nice hook block to the outside that time by Jason Watkins, and once he hits that crease, he's into the backfield in the secondary. Only 3 touches last week for Percy Harvin in this offense, and they scored 60-some points, right? Yep. 3 touches by Percy Harvin. By the way, 2 of those were touchdowns.
Chris Rainey in the backfield now. First down after that 20-yard gain by Harvin. Tebow still has it. Lofts it out left side in space. Catch is made by Harvin. First down, Florida at the 30-yard line.
Now you see why the coordinator started out early being a little conservative. They see the defenses. Now they found some holes in the defenses. Harvin on a linebacker. That's Akeem Dent right there. And now you start to probe. Start out a little slow. Find out what they're doing. Don't blow the game early, and then start to probe.
Never a good sign when Percy Harvin catches it.
Here's the wide splits, by the way, Vern. I was just going to say prior to the snap. Excuse me.
First down and 10. Demps.
You were saying Percy Harvin?
Looked like there may have been movement by Marquise Pouncey.
Dead ball. Delay of game on the offense. Penalty 5 yards. Down remains first.
So that'll cost him 5. I'm just going to say that Percy Harvin is never a good thing when you see him catch the ball and there are no defenders in the picture.
Yeah, or a linebacker. Or a linebacker. You're right. Remember LSU trying to cover him with a linebacker? You're right.
Tebow. Looks like the old-fashioned option play, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Had the trailing back. Now Tim Tebow. We're having a conversation on Wednesday with Urban Meyer, and he said, well, Tebow's knee is okay. And we said, what?
Yeah, he said he had a little hyperextended knee. Never missed a practice, and he's wearing you can see a sleeve on his left leg there. But, you know, that doesn't really mean a lot because a lot of quarterbacks now are wearing a brace on their plant foot when they are playing. And you see Tebow wearing that thing. I don't know if that's the hyperextended knee. I assume it is.
Second down, 6. No score. Late first quarter. Tebow backs up. There's Louis Murphy. Incomplete at the 5.
Murphy got inside that time of Asher Allen. Stemmed him back up. The throw was just not it was a pretty good throw. That ball could have been caught. Skinny post to the weak side. You always see Murphy into the boundary to the small side of the field. Now, this seems a little long for the quarterback draw here, 3rd and 6. They're going to have to do something, you would think, a little different.
3 wide to the left.
And Willie Martinez loves to blitz in this situation.
Defensive coordinator for Georgia. No blitz. Left side intercepted. Picked off by Prince Miller. There is a flag down at the 33. We'll see if the play stands.
Yeah, I think it could be the defensive line's face to the helmet, kind of tore the Florida's helmet off.
Personal foul. Illegal contact to the head. Number 99 on the defense. Right. Penalty will be half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
As Jason Wynn was rushing, he put his hand into the helmet of the Florida either offensive tackle. It's at the top of the screen, I believe. Right there, you'll see his hand right in the middle of this thing. See his hand go under the face mask? That was the call right there.
Helmet on the ground. Jarius Wynn called for the flag.
Tebow's only had 2 interceptions all year, and that could have been a dangerous run. That could have gone the other way.
After the penalty, first down at the 13-yard line.
And Florida's unbelievable in the red zone offense.
28 of 29 for the year.
That qualifies for unbelievable.
And the one that they didn't convert
took a knee, basically,
was 4th and 9 at the end of the Tennessee game. That is right. Otherwise, perfect. Here's Demps. That's not perfect. Good play by Rennie Curran. Twice this season, number 35 has registered 14 tackles in the game.
29 possessions, 20 touchdowns, 8 field goals. That means you're kicking good field goals, too. You're not missing any of them like Georgia just did now.
Gary already, Rennie Curran with 5 tackles in this game.
Doesn't surprise me.
9th play of the drive, 2nd down and 10. Got a favorable ruling on a challenge on a first down effort, and then the penalty. Here's the pitch. Harvin strolls in. Touchdown. Saw the stat. Percy Harvin has scored each of the last 10 in which he has participated. Jonathan Phillips on for the extra point, 37 of 38 for the year. The one miss, a blocked extra point that cost Florida the game against Ole Miss, their one loss. This one is perfect.
I think that it is possible that Georgia misaligned on this play. This was way too easy. There was no flank to this play. No one was out there. Once the pitch went, no one's there. That has to be a misalignment. They lined up wrong. You don't know ever for sure, but you don't see many defenses where it's this simple to score.
There's another example of Percy Harvin on the screen with no defenders in sight.
It's not going to work.
We are back in Jacksonville. It's now time for the playbook presented by the Hartford.
I have a feeling that C.J. Bird right here misaligned. I think he should have been over here on this play. And what happened, it allowed the tight end to come around and get the block and really opened it up. Tate Casey comes and gets an easy block on the play. You pitch it out, and that, you got the hash right there. No one even outside the hash. That's just, I think it's a misalignment. I really do, that caused that touchdown.
Well, Harvin on that touchdown drive, an 18-yard pass reception, a 20-yard run, and a 13-yard touchdown run.
And Vern told you 2 key plays: the confirmation of the short yardage play for the first down, and then the penalty on an interception.
And think about this, Gary. Georgia had a 2nd down and 2 at the Florida 10-yard line, and some unusual play selections. Lamarcus Brown has the kickoff return out across the 20 to the 28-yard line. Well, Georgia missed an opportunity. Walsh with an unsuccessful 30-yard field goal attempt. The challenge denied, and the personal foul. Don't forget that one.
Right.
Prince Miller had the interception, and a foul called on Jarius Wynn.
Georgia's already had 1 3-and-out hidden in that game last week against LSU, which was so great for Georgia. Georgia had 5 3-and-outs in that game. That's a lot. In 12 possession, 5 3-and-outs. That's not a good sign.
15 seconds to go, opening quarter. Hand off Stafford. Marino comes left, cuts back right. And he moves the ball to the 31-yard line. Could be the last play. Should be. Opportunities missed for Georgia. And Florida capitalizes, goes 80 yards in 9 plays, and we have reached the end of one with Florida leading 7-0. We'll return to Jacksonville Municipal Stadium after this message and a word from your local station. As I think most of you know, Matthew Stafford graduated from Highland Park High School in Dallas. His alma mater won last night, 49-39. Beat that mighty Rockball team. They're 9-0 for the year. Here's Stafford, his team trailing 7-0 as we get underway. Start of the second quarter. Stafford flips it left side. That's A.J. Green, the true freshman, and a positive move by the Georgia Bulldogs. Well, missed opportunities, Gary, for this Georgia team. Anything going right for them?
I think so. They do know that they can get one-on-one with their wide receivers. They've hit a big play. I think they've seen that, they can move the ball, and if they don't beat themselves, they can put points on the board. It's the other side of the ball. This Florida offense has expanded so much. They've got so many ways to attack it. It's almost scary watching them play.
Well, we've seen 4 running backs utilized already in this game. And a 3rd down and 4 right here. Here's Stafford back. Drills it. First down plus. Out near the 50-yard line, it's Bruce Figgins, number 89. That's a gain of 17.
Well, there's no way that the Florida coaches don't know that pass distribution chart that we showed you and who they go to. They are not really even looking at the tight end a lot in these alignments because they don't throw to him too much. Come out, easy pass, man coverage, but they were disguising it so late that Major Wright did not get there enough. They're saying, we think you're going to throw to the wide receivers. We're going to try to take them away first.
Stafford 5 for 5 in this game. Figgins with a 17-yard gain. Play fake Stafford. Massaqua's deep, and down the right side he goes for A.J. Green. I thought Massaquoi might have an edge in the center of the field. Stafford popped as he lets it go.
Yeah, the play action pass took a little too long to go to the middle of the field on that one. Had he done it, he might have thrown into traffic that he didn't see.
Let's see if Massaquoi was open. I think so. Well,
you don't know that backside.
Yeah, exactly. I thought so. Now I'm ambivalent.
And here's another hit on Stafford, and it was on his left hip or left leg.
2nd down and 10. Blitz from the corner. Stafford man open and drops it. He dropped it.
The reason I'm up here going, is because Stafford's eyes and head work on the defense is so perfect this time. He creates the seam by looking wide to his right. Watch, wide to his right, and then he comes back to create the seam in the middle and puts it right on target. Wow.
Kenneth Harris with the drop. Pass couldn't have been more perfectly thrown.
No.
3rd and 10. First in the SEC, 3rd down conversions. Here's the change. Three-man rush. Stafford, deep, Massaquoi. First down, Georgia.
One of the things that Matthew Stafford said he was most proud of to us, Vern, on the phone was his ability to get up in the pocket. You can see him limping already.
Right.
He said he was proud that he moved up in the pocket and ripped this throw in. This is against a zone defense. It's going to come in and then back out, and there's no time for the defense to move. When you play zone against this guy, he just picks the zone apart. It's Elway-esque the way he throws the ball.
That's high praise. First down and 10.
We got to watch this limping by Matthew Stafford. It'll get worse as the game goes on. Yep, little movement again.
Looks like it might be Clint Bowling. Look at him limp. Yes, indeed.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 60 on the offense, penalty 5 yards, down lane 1.
We talked about the early hits to Stafford. That's a late hit to Stafford. It came in, big blow to your leg, and that one hurt really bad.
Lawrence Marsh, number 90. And Stafford still showing the effects of that. It's first down and 15. 7-0, Florida leads.
Stafford knows that Florida's going to sneak their safety up there. 8-man in the box.
Here he comes. Marino slips the first tackle, picks up about 3. Now let's go back to the studio for this Liberty Mutual update. Here's Tim Brando.
All right, Vern, Ole Miss has now won back-to-back games for the first time since 2004. Jevin Sneed to Derek Davis here. And in other games, Alabama and Arkansas State, the Crimson Tide rolling at number 2. Mississippi State and Kentucky are tied. Tulsa was down 17 in the first quarter and have now roared back and are down by 3. They, of course, one of my flies in the ointment. Back to Vern.
Okay, Tim. Second down, 13 here. All-out blitz. Tipped. Is it picked off? No, it's incomplete.
But it could have been picked off by Joe Hayden. You're right.
Sean Chappus, number 49, the intended receiver. I'm just thinking about that Auburn loss.
Right.
You know, Ron Zook made a phrase famous when he was the coach of Florida, referring to noise in the system. There is noise in the system in Auburn.
There's no mulligans in this league, huh?
No. Yeah, how about that? And there's noise in the system in Knoxville. No mulligans. Third down, 13. Unfair, but true. Stafford steps up. How can he run? Favoring that injured leg.
Yep, that's the 5th or 6th big hit so far in this game. Two things emergent. Some mistakes by Georgia are hurting them, and Marino has yet to establish himself. I thought he needed 25 to 30 yards each quarter to make an impact on this game. He's at what, less than 20?
Blair Walsh missed from 37 earlier. This is from 34. High snap. Ball down. Kick is good. Georgia is on the board. 7-3 Gators lead. 11:18 to go. First half.
He dives, stretches out, touchdown.
And look at the entire Georgia offense coming off.
That's the whole team.
I can't believe this. They're throwing a flag, and I don't think anybody cares.
I've never seen that in my life.
Urban says, are you guys ready? It's going to be a fight.
Well, that was a year ago. No demonstrations by either team so far. Knowshon Marino in that game, 188 yards on 33 carries. Confirmed that the defensive unit for Florida in the spring did 188 push-ups each day, one for each yard Marino got against them.
I couldn't play there. I can't do 10.
And if you can't, guess where I am in line? Marino in this game, only 17 yards, 5 carries.
Onside
kick. Florida got it.
Well, that was a great catch. Great play there.
Butch Rowley.
Because that was a knuckleball. If he doesn't get that, for sure there's 3 or 4 players. Did Georgia get the ball back?
Let's see.
I thought Florida caught this ball and got it. Look at this. Short hop makes the play, goes down. Yes, great play.
That's a little difficult.
Absolutely.
Wow. He has good hands. He's the holder on field goals and extra points.
You can see Mark Richt. He knows the importance of the special teams. He's trying to steal advantage. It backfired a little.
Rowley, terrific play. First down, Florida at the 41. Chris Rainey is the back. He comes to the left, gets out of a tackle, and then the pursuit catches up with him. He's down at the 40-yard line. Justin Houston, number 42, with the stop.
Chris Rainey, the ball carrier. Second by number 42, Justin Houston.
Second down, 9.
Watch the center in this football game. Pouncey will lift his left hand as a timing device for the lineman to see it just before the snap. See, that way everybody can see that ball and get off on time.
Second down, 9. Demps is the running back. Here's Tebow. And he's got the catch made. Aaron Hernandez, number 81, and that's a first down after the 18-yard gain. Let's go down to Tracy.
Guys, they were looking at Stafford's left ankle. They were looking at his knee, but it's actually his funny bone on his throwing arm. He said he landed on it awkwardly. He can't feel his funny bone. He's got a cut on that elbow. And he looked at me. He said, I can't throw the ball. He's trying to throw it here on the sideline now, and it's popping out. It's pretty funny down here. I mean, I'm sure they're not laughing about it.
I bet not. First down.
So he's got an ankle and a funny bone.
Yeah. Tebow. At the 15, tackle made by Rennie Curran.
Tim Tebow, the ball carrier. Tackle made by number 35, Rennie Curran. Also number 9, Rashad Jones.
6 tackles for Curran now.
Tebow, always a threat to run the ball. That was a great throw, by the way, because he was hit on the play earlier, the one to Hernandez. He's in complete control, running the option, the passing game, and the quarterback run game.
Second down and 3. Oh, great rush. Wow, right up the middle, there is a flag. Was it too great a rush? Geno Atkins, number 56.
See, I think Geno Atkins saw that left hand of Pouncey and tried to beat the snap. Watch the left hand go and Atkins go. See that? He saw the same thing.
Offside, number 56, 25 yards, enough for a first down.
See, that was almost perfect that time. He started just a little early. Well, almost perfect, and to blow up the play. Very smart play by Geno Atkins on that play. Just beat it by a hair.
He got right by Jim Tart, number 63. So the penalties even now at 4. But the timing of these penalties against Georgia
has
been significant. Demps tests the middle, not there. You think back, Prince Miller with an interception for Georgia. And that play reversed because of a roughing penalty on Jarius Wynn. There's Prince Miller and Mark Richt. Rolled the dice for the onside kick, didn't work. Butch Rowley, fine reception. And now it's second down and 7.
Well, if you're Willie Martinez, you have to think option here. I mean, you have to. Find Harvin. You always got to know where Harvin is. Here he comes into the backfield. There's the veer.
To the 1. Ball's loose. I think it was down. Demps. Tackle by Miller.
Here's the option play right here. You're going to Harvin in motion, and they run the veer. This time it's the give read. They read this man right here. If he doesn't close, they're going to give it. They're actually running the old veer offense from the spread right now, and that's what's changed Florida. They moved the speed in the backfield, and they're running the veer out of the spread formation.
The rushing yards so far. Play clock down at 1. Timeout called.
Timeout of the half.
Florida with the timeout. And CBS Sports coverage of the Home Depot SEC will continue after this word from your local station.
I'd give it 2 chances with Tebow and try to make this a 14-3 game.
3rd and inches right now. And the ball marked ready for play. 3rd and inches. Tebow. Touchdown. Delayed call, but signaled from the far side. And with that touchdown, he breaks the tie he held with Emmitt Smith. He now has the most rushing touchdowns in school history, a quarterback in his junior year.
Right. The little subtlety that the Florida Gators keep adding to the offense, and this will be reviewed too, won't it?
Looks like it.
This time they fake the speed sweep to Harvin before they allow Tebow to run off tackle. Just a little tweaks to keep that defense guessing. Remember last time we thought his knee went down? Can't see anything there.
Not at all.
Can't see anything there.
Want to go for 3?
Well, I was wrong last time. Well, Rennie Curran sneaks his way in on the play. Oh, the ball did hit short of the line. Absolutely on that one. I thought it did. I thought on that one I saw the ball hit the grass before the line. The one prior to this one, I thought I...
Yeah, here's the one.
Comes in. Does the ball go down right near the line? And, you know, really, the other thing, too, to note here, it will be a first down if it's not a touchdown.
Right. Boy, tough to,
yeah,
I couldn't
tell. I couldn't really tell,
nope.
I'll tell you the truth. Replay official, since I heard walked 3 miles to get here, should take his time, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. Ben Oldham.
The traffic was so strong.
Let me state the obvious. This is taking a while. Oh, dear. Here is the best look we have. It's Tebow. See Rod Battle up high. Akeem Dent. Here we are.
After review, video evidence shows he did not get in the end zone. The ball will be put at the half-yard line.
I thought the ball hit the grass, but remember, now they're going to measure to see if it's a first down, or they're going to declare a first down. So it was short even of a first down. I thought they didn't get a great spot. I
think Urban Meyer is saying, are you not going to measure?
Right.
And they are not going to measure. 4th down.
Now, do they dare do the jump pass here?
No. Touchdown. Of this, there is no doubt.
You knew that they'd go 4th down. Their defense is playing so hot right now. They just knew they'd go for it on 4th down.
Gary referencing the jump pass. Tebow in his career 3 for 3, each resulting in the touchdown with that old-fashioned jump pass. This time, now he holds the record.
Right, broke it again, right?
Yeah. Jonathan Phillips with the extra point.
Boy, that's a machine. That Florida offense right now is a machine.
Tim Tebow, most in school history. 14-3 Gators. This all began with the failed onside kick, the fine reception of the ball by Butch Rowley. Tebow with the TD, 14-3. Now you can catch the SEC online. Log on to cbssports.com/college football live and get the CBS Game of the Week streamed live. Our Game of the Week here, Jacksonville Municipal Stadium, 80,000 plus. The 86th or 87th game in this series. There's a game played in 1905. Georgia claims a 52-0 victory. Florida says, wait a minute. We didn't officially start football till 1906. Jonathan Phillips is going to kick off for the Gators. 14-3. 7:26 to go. First half. Word from Tracy Wolfson. Matthew Stafford is fine. He got the feeling back in his elbow and he's throwing it okay, and this one goes out of bounds. And let's get more from Tracy on the onside kick. Trace?
That's right. Mark Richt taking the blame for that one. He came over and he told his defense, that one was on me. That's my fault. Come on, let's keep on playing.
And this was because Richt saw the advantage in special teams that Florida possessed, and he tried to steal an advantage back. When you try a little bit too much to create something. I thought LSU was trying to do that with their young quarterbacks last week, trying to create and manufacture plays. It got him in trouble, and I think it got Richt in trouble right there.
You may have sneaked a peek at your on camera and saw the Joker.
Yeah, the Joker.
First down and 10. I formation. Hand off Marino. Limited to 17 yards before that carry. Matthew Stafford has been pounded this afternoon.
Yeah, it started early. We didn't notice much, hit wear and tear. But when you get your 5th or 6th hit, then it was the hip or the ankle. And then on the last scramble, he was out there to set up the field goal. Came down on his right elbow, his funny bone, and then kind of grabbed his right hand. And he was doing a lot of throwing. Ironic, isn't it? Last year, it was Tebow with the shoulder, and now Stafford is a little dinged in this one.
Second down and 3.
I tell you, they're just playing man-to-man coverage up at the top of the screen, daring him to throw.
And a flag. That I think is going to be a pre-snap penalty. Chris Davis and Justin Tratto. Little contact.
This is another shoot themselves in the foot for Georgia.
Saw Tratto reach across the line.
No, it's going to be the other way this
Florida's marching.
They needed something good for them to happen to them. Georgia did. Get a drive. Now remember,
prior to the snap, offsides, nose guard, penalty is 5 yards. Result for the play, first down.
If you're looking at the clock and you're a Georgia fan or calling plays, there's 6.5 minutes. You're down 14-3. You got to make some points here because Florida gets the ball to start the second half. If you punt it away, Georgia scores again and gets the ball again, it could run away from you.
Result of the penalty is a first down at the 48-yard line.
Very big drive for Georgia.
Florida, 4 down, they bring 6. Stafford steps up, wings it into triple coverage. Oh boy, was that dangerous. And it hit Massaquoi on the head.
Well, Major Wright could have intercepted this ball, but he went for the defensive tackle on the play. A ball hawking free safety would have intercepted Major Wright right there. Now watch how long this ball's in the air. He could have had it, but he went for the hit with his head. All he'd do is stick his hands out there, and he could have intercepted that play. Very, very dangerous again by Stafford trying to make too much out of a play.
Second and 10. Little bunch formation to the left. Stafford with Marino behind him. This is Sutherland, the fullback. The toss, and Sutherland leads the way. Marino inside the 40, spins, and picks up 2 additional yards. And it gives us a chance to go back to New York once again. Here's Tim Brando.
Vern, last week in defeat, I think Oklahoma State was the most impressive team in their loss to Texas. Zach Robinson to Des Bryant here. 80 yards, their 3rd touchdown hookup of the day against Iowa State. Missouri is taking command of the Big 12 North. They're up by 2 touchdowns, a wild one in the ACC with Florida State trailing Georgia Tech, and Cal clings to a 3-point lead over Oregon. Back to you.
All right, Tim, thank you. 14-3 here. Marino's longest run of the day. And it's a first down 10. Georgia just inside the 37. Under 6 to play. First half. Marino, how about that cut? How about that cut? Just bingo. He's going right and he goes left.
Yeah, and the other thing, I think Mark Richt going to his team and saying that one was on me is a good strategy to keep his team in the game. They're struggling a little bit, and he says, listen, I'll do better. I'll do better. Don't worry. We'll get it going. And that young, again, that offensive line that has 2 true freshmen, first-year freshmen playing in it, are starting to find their game here a little bit.
Second down and 1. Sutherland is the fullback. Marino deep back in the eye. Toss, Marino. Sullivan leads the way left, and Marino has a first down at the 22-yard line. Teron Sanders, number 92, made the tackle. No Sean Marino, a very gifted running back.
Well, like all great running backs, he's got the whole package. He sees the hole and finds it and has a lot of patience once he sees it. His eyes take him there, and then his patience allow him to do it, and then his balance. I mean, we've talked about his quick cutting and things like that, but his balance is impeccable. He's just a really tough guy to stop for those 6- and 8-yard runs.
First down and 10. Caleb King will give Marino a breather on the sideline. King is in the I formation behind Sutherland. And King gets the handoff down to the 20. Well, a little meditation going on for the quarterback.
Yeah, he's hooked up probably on the headphones to Dan Mullen, his offensive coordinator, going over the next things they want to feature.
So far 4 of 5 for 44 yards and had the touchdown run. Two of the best quarterbacks in the country featured here today.
Yeah, I think the best pro-style quarterback is Stafford from the I formation. The best spread quarterback is Tebow.
Second down. Stafford fakes the toss. He's in trouble again. Brandon Spikes. Duke Lemons, number 44, was also part of it, and Jermaine Cunningham, number 49.
Well, Florida plays about 9 different defensive linemen, and this time from this side, 2 guys come. A little mix-up on the play. King does not take the right guy, Caleb King, and as the tackle turns out, Justin Anderson, he picks the wrong one, and King doesn't get the other one.
3rd and 19. Second sack for Florida this afternoon. Zone blitz, 3-man rush. Stafford got it. Massaquoi, 1st and goal in front of Major Wright.
Now, as good as Stafford throws this ball, and I'll give him all the credit in the world, he's the only guy in college that can make this throw. But Major Wright must make this play. There's no room behind him. Don't back up, make the play. He just runs himself out of the play and never gets there. Major Wright, look at, you got the end zone behind there to help you. He backs up and goes out too far to the right. Massaquoi did a nice job of setting him up, but a rip throw by the best pro-style quarterback in college football.
First down goal after the 24-yard gain. I formation. Play fake to Marino. There's the lob in the end zone. Had a man wide open and threw it behind him. Trip Chandler, who's missed the last 3 games with an injury, the tight end.
Yeah, Trip Chandler was so wide open, he needed to stop and not drift. Chandler's going to come from this side. Now what? He should just stop there and be a stationary target. Watch him keep moving, and as he keeps moving and running, Stafford thinks he's going to stop there. Reminded me of that, what was that Dallas pass? Remember that was dropped?
Jackie Smith?
Jackie Smith.
Wow.
He kept moving on the play. If he'd have stopped, he'd have caught the pass.
Bless his heart, he's the sickest man in America. I remember it. Marino goes left.
Great
in
defense.
trouble.
Great defense.
3rd and goal.
A.J. Jones just would not run away from his position. His assignment was cut back. He stayed with his assignment. He's over here somewhere. Staying to the outside. There he is, inside at linebacker right there, and he stayed right at home.
3rd and goal, just inside the 10.
You don't overrun plays against Marino. He's not that fast. Wait for him to come back to you.
Bulldogs are going to use a timeout. It comes with 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Tim Brando in New York. Coming up on the Geico Halftime Report, Spencer Tillman, Archie Manning, and I will get you caught up on all of today's action, including Michigan losing to Purdue. The streak of 33 consecutive bowl games ends, their first losing season since '67. Now back to Florida and Georgia.
All right, Tim, 14-3 here. Third down, Georgia. Third and goal just inside the 10.
Good strategy, it looks like, by Florida. They have smallish corners, so they're going to play off 5 across the board, and they're going to play combo coverage. 3 on 2 on one side and 2 on 1 on the other side. See them right across the board.
Georgia with 4 wides.
You don't know which one of these guys they're going to cover. Now they go 5 wides.
Stafford steps up, lobs it deep for Marino. It's incomplete in the end zone. 4th down. Ahmad Black, number 35, defending.
Tried to go to Marino on that one. That's something I have not seen. The fade to the running back. Tried to get it something different right here. Marino on a linebacker. Went against Spikes for a while, but Black did a good job of getting back into play. That wasn't even his man. Well-crafted play. Marino on Spikes, but Ahmad Black came in and saved it.
That brings on Blair Walsh, 1 of 2 so far. This from 27 yards. Oh! How about that? Left upright.
The Joker, that terrible Joker, an onside kick and 2 missed field goals.
He hit the left upright right in the middle.
Yep, dead on. I'll tell you, and it was almost, Ahmad Black almost got in and blocked this thing too. You wonder if he felt him a little bit and pulled it.
Walsh, who began this season as the first true freshman to start as a place kicker for Georgia since Kevin Butler, the Hall of Famer back in the early 80s. 2 missed field goals. There was a personal foul penalty that negated an interception by Prince Miller. An unsuccessful onside kick. And leads to an UFTA. Here's the handoff up the middle. And don't forget that Trip Channel was open in the end zone. Kept going, as you said, Gary, and the pass behind him.
I mean, it's just one of those things. But had he stopped, see, I think Stafford thought he was going to stop right there. As a quarterback, you're not quite sure what's in front of the player. And if Stafford would have put a little touch on it, made it a little easier catch, whatever. See, you see Stafford say, give me a target. If you'd have just stopped and gave me a target, I'd have hit you.
1:12 to go, first half. Tebow with a handoff, and that goes to Jeff Demps. And he's got the ball at the 25-yard line. We're under a minute remaining.
Yeah, both teams only have 1 timeout left, so they both want to play it safe right here. If Florida pops a run, they probably would obviously take it, but they're not going to try to stop the clock with a pass, I don't believe.
3rd and 4. (14-3). Florida. They have won 15 of the last 18 of these encounters. Georgia has not won back-to-back games in this series since 1988-89. Here's the handoff, and we're going to come to the close of the first half. It'll be 4th down.
Well, I'm surprised Georgia doesn't try to take a timeout and try to block the play, and Mark Richt is. Got to force him to punt and go for the punt block.
Georgia calls timeout, and it comes with 12 seconds remaining. They trail 14-3. 14-3, Florida leads it. Missed opportunities for the Bulldogs. Go back to their second offensive series. They had a 2nd down and 2 at the Florida 10-yard line, and they came away with no points. Missed field goal. They just completed a series in which they were 1st and goal from the 6. No points, missed field goal. They go for the block and don't get it. And here's the catch made by Prince Miller. And Bulldogs get the ball back with 5 seconds to go. Now, coming up at the half, we'll go back to our New York studios. Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman, and Archie Manning. Matthew Stafford spent the summer in Thibodaux, Louisiana. Not all of it, but part of it at the Manning Passing Academy.
He did. Well, as Vern you were alluding to, Vern, I mean, the worst it should be for Georgia right now is 14-9, and that includes an interception that didn't count, an onside kick. I mean, they're still in the football game, but it should be at the worst 14-9.
Now they're going to take a knee with 5 seconds to go. Tracy Wolfson is with Mark Richt.
Coach, the onside kick, 2 missed field goals, big penalties. How do you correct that in the second half? Mistakes hurting you again.
Yeah, mistakes have hurt us, but we'll be all right. We certainly could be scoring touchdowns in the red zone. We need to do that. Missed a couple kicks. Took a shot at an onside. Thought it was a good calculated risk. Didn't go well, but, you know, it's a good football game. Statistically, it's about dead even. We just have got to capitalize once we're in the red zone.
Matthew Stafford taking a lot of hits. How much does that concern you?
Well, he's still up and fighting, and that's all I'm concerned about right now.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck.
14-3 Florida leads. Let's go back to New York. Tim Brando. Timmy?
All right, Vern, it does help when they're upright, doesn't it? Coming up on the Geico Halftime Report, Spencer, Archie, and I will have all of today's action, including some fantastic finishes in the Big Ten and an early finish to Michigan's 33-year bowl streak after this word from your local station.
CBS Sports presents the Geico Halftime Report. Geico.com. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geico Halftime Report. I'm Tim Brando with the score in Jacksonville, Florida, leading Georgia 14-3 with Spencer Tillman and Archie Manning. You know, there was a sack early of Stafford, and he extended his arm as though, Archie, help me up, and the defender said, no. They've got the edge in this game, Florida.
That's the attitude for it. And I think when you look at this game, it's coming down to the veer. Can Georgia stop it? They need to look at Bill Yeoman's old playbook to try to find some solutions.
They got to get a break somewhere.
Yeah, they haven't had many. You're right. Getting right to today's action, our highlight blitz, Arkansas State and Alabama. That defense has been some opportunistic all year long, Spencer. Corey Leonard's pass is picked off by Rashad Johnson. He's going to return it for the touchdown.
Well, you're looking for 10 straight. Going back to last year's Independence Bowl, Alabama looks like they're well on their way to getting it done.
Remembering my hometown bowl game. 28-0 in the third. Iowa State and Oklahoma State. Take a look at Zach Robinson, Archie.
Zach Robinson connects with Dez Bryant. 80-yard touchdown pass, outstanding receiver. Bryant's third TD reception in the first half.
He may be the best receiver most of America doesn't know that much about.
Very good.
28-10, Okie State getting it done. Mizzou and Baylor 21-14. Tigers, a couple of scoring passes for Chase Daniel in this one. Florida State, Georgia Tech. Josh Nesbitt.
We know what they can do. They can run the ball. Here's going to take the hand off the pitch. Fake. That's the Greg Smith for 3-yard touchdown run. Score 24-10 Georgia Tech at that point.
Now, Seminoles making a comeback, though, for Coach Bowden. It's 24-20 at the break. Tulsa and Arkansas, they were down by 17. They tied at 23, and then this.
Remember when Felix Jones used to do this all the time? Yep. He had a bunch of them in recent years before he went pro. Here's a little Dennis Johnson, a little Dave Megan in it. 5'7", 195.
He can't stride long. Look at that.
96 yards for the score.
Spencer loves those guys with a short stride. I wonder why. Yeah, Arkansas up by a touch, just underway in the fourth. Into the Big Ten, Minnesota, Northwestern. This is wild. Watch this.
This is a tough way to lose a football game.
Adam Weber's pass intercepted by Brendan Smith. He returns it 48 yards for the touch. You know, Spencer, they had a chance, Tim Brewster's team, to have the best comeback of this season.
Yeah,
1 year.
Jim Jones' old record back in '98, Hawaii.
Yeah, they were 1-11 a year ago, but they get the win for Coach Fitzgerald, 24-17. Wisconsin and Michigan State. After Wisconsin called a couple of timeouts, kicker Brett Swinson, a 44-yarder. That's the gamer to win the ball game, 25-24. Sparty over Bielema's team. Oregon and Cal. Here's Kevin Riley going to work, Spencer.
This is good for 22-yard touchdown pass to Jeremy Ross here. I knew this was going to be a close one. 7-6 Cal at this point, Tim.
3 turnovers for California in that game. 9-6 with 3 minutes remaining in the second. Well, coming up, we'll get you caught up on more of today's action, including Notre Dame driving toward a bowl return, while Michigan's season will end in November for the first time since '74. We're back. The Geico halftime report rolls on. Back to the Blitz. The Blitz, Auburn and Ole Miss. Your alma mater's won 2 in a row for the first time in 4 years, Archie.
Yeah, Jevin Sneed fakes the handoff, rolls right, passes wide open. Derek Davis, 4-yard touchdown. Ole Miss wins 17-7.
They had 406 yards at Auburn, but 13 penalties in the game. Kentucky and Mississippi State, a couple of touchdown passes for Tyson Lee, but they trailed by 1 to Rich Brooks' team. Over in the ACC, Spencer, how about Miami's quarterback Ja'Cory Harris here?
Well, he's looking to the left pylon. That's Adarius Johnson there. Johnson's going to bring it in for a 9-yard touchdown. In overtime, catch was reviewed, upheld, 24-17 Miami.
And then Cedric Pierman fumbles in the overtime, and it's 24-17. The Canes get it done in OT against Virginia, who had controlled their destiny in the Coastal. Clemson, 17-0 over BC. They haven't won since September the 20th against a Division 1A opponent, and 17 egg over Boston College now. Wake Forest, 12-7 over Coach Cutcliffe's team. That with a couple of minutes deep into the third. Pittsburgh and Notre Dame both trying to become bowl eligible. 17-10 Irish in the fourth. Michigan and Purdue, Archie.
One of the best games of the day. Boilermaker quarterback Justin Stewart completes the pass to Greg Orden and pitches it to Desmond Tardy on the hook and ladder. Runs it in for a 32-yard touchdown. What a game.
48-42, and that means the Wolverines will not be bowling. Wow, that is amazing for Coach Rodriguez in this first year. Kansas rolls Kansas State 52-21, almost 200 yards and 4 scores for Jake Sharp in the game. And West Virginia now has seized control in the Big East, 35-13 over Connecticut. And Army goes down to Air Force 16-7. The Fighting Falcons now are 7-2. Well, a reminder, next Saturday you'll see number 2 Alabama take on number 15 LSU. It all begins at 3 o'clock Eastern with TIAA Creft College football today. And the football action continues tomorrow with the NFL on CBS. Regional action, most will see the Jets take on the Bills or the Dolphins face the Broncos. It all starts at noon Eastern with JB and the gang on the NFL today. Your thoughts on the second half of this game? What does Georgia have to do?
I think Georgia's going to get back in the game. I really do. My question is, if Florida were to win this game and score late to put it away, would they stampede?
Yeah. Georgia, though, has got to find an answer for that veer attack. Those spread formation, those wide gaps are making it problematic.
Texas and Texas Tech tonight. The gauntlet. First time since 1943 that Notre Dame did it. Do you think Texas Tech will knock them off?
It's the biggest game ever in Lubbock. Texas says it's just another game. We do this every week.
Texas can hang half 100 on them. They've been doing it with regularity. Won 8 of the last 9.
All right. Thanks for watching the Geico Halftime Report. Coming up, the second half of Florida and Georgia. You enjoy the rest of the game.
CBS Sports presents the Geico Halftime Report. Geico.com. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Halftime in Jacksonville, Florida with a 14-3 lead over Georgia. Tomorrow on 60 Minutes, operating computers, writing emails, and driving wheelchairs with nothing but their thoughts, a scientific breakthrough that could help millions. Then new episodes of Amazing Race, Cold Case, and The Unit tomorrow on CBS, America's most watched network. Inside the NFL is now on Showtime. Every Wednesday, join JB, Phil Simms, Warren Sapp, and Chris Collinsworth for all the best in highlights, insights, and more. Wednesday only on Showtime. And now for an SEC moment presented by Sonic, let's go down to Tracy Wolfson.
Well, Vern, last season in Tim Tebow's first start in his hometown, the Gators tried to win for the 16th time in 18 matchups with the Dogs, but it was Georgia who struck first, and then the moment that will live forever in this rivalry happened. Florida answered right back on a Tebow to Lewis Murphy touchdown, but it was finally the Dogs' day. Tebow was sacked 6 times. Matthew Stafford threw 3 touchdown passes, and Noshawn Marino rushed for 188 yards and the game-clinching touchdown. Coach Richt and his wife, they celebrated the day the Dogs stormed the field. Vern?
All right, Trace, we all do remember it very well. Halftime here, 14-3 Gators with the lead. Back with the third quarter shortly. SEC on CBS. We began the third quarter, 84,000 or so inside the stadium. But look at this scene at the Jacksonville Landing. If you don't have a ticket here, gather at the Landing, or probably some of those folks stayed there after last night.
Right.
And watching on a large screen television. 14-3. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson. Georgia kicks off. Blair Walsh, who's had his problems with field goals today, he's 1 of 3. See where this kickoff goes. The ever dangerous Brandon James will gather it in at the 8-yard line and come right. Down at the 29-yard line. Moment ago, Tracy with Urban Meyer.
Coach, your concern going into this game was no Sean Marino, able to contain him to 48 yards rushing. How were you able to do that?
We're playing very well on defense, but we're giving up some pass plays, but we just got to contain. You don't stop really good players, you contain them.
What was the main focus point to your team at halftime?
30 minutes of football. Our focus is making some adjustments we made on both sides of the ball, but 30 minutes of high-energy football.
What adjustments did you make?
You'll see.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, here's Tebow, play fake, rolls out, fires it deep. And it is caught by Riley Cooper. And that's going to be a fine start to the third quarter. Well, going back to the beginning of the game, I picked up this joker when you discarded it. And the joker was special teams.
Yeah, and that has come through. I mean, the missed field goals, again, 14-9 should be the worst for Georgia in this game. But, you know, Marino has run for 48 yards. That's okay. But the difference in Florida's defense this year than last year, it's a difference between boys and men. They are much more physical and run better, don't make mistakes on defense.
First down and 10 after a 14-yard gain. Here's Tebow. Wrestled down at the 48-yard line. Well, look at this.
Right.
Now, he did not sleep after he picked up his candy from trick-or-treating last night. Or he might have been in that band that played until the wee hours, which we enjoyed in our hotel room.
I've been told to lay off the crowd shots for a while.
Okay, let me get in trouble this week.
Exactly.
All right. Second down and 6. Tebow goes to the left side. It's caught. That's a first down. Tate Casey, number 84, the tight end with the grab. And Rashad Jones, number 9, with a tackle. How about halftime trends, Gary?
Well, you can see right there, Tebow set the record. He's always a threat to run the ball. Stafford, pretty good. I mean, he's been under a lot of pressure. He's made some great throws downfield, but he has been knocked down. The joker, special teams play. Georgia has made some mistakes also in the penalty department. And how about this? How about this Florida defense that we were just talking about? 23 points all year in the first half, 22 punts they forced.
Demps and Rainey are on the field together, and Chris Rainey, number 3, makes the
well,
carry.
even with the Wolf, Tracy Wolfson, stalking her prey. Urban Meyer trying to crack what the adjustments were. Even the Wolf couldn't get it out of Urban Meyer, but it looks like the adjustment is Tebow's going to throw a little bit more. He only threw the ball 5 times in the first half. Seems like Urban Meyer, you know, at halftime, this Florida offense only had 138 yards. So it looks like they're going to try to throw the ball to soften up this defense just a little bit.
Florida looks at a second down and 8 now. Harbin is in the backfield alongside Tim Tebow. Option. Tebow keeps, cuts, and is tackled at the 38. It'll be third down, looks like about 5. Justin Houston, number 42, with the stop.
Well, let's remember that the only game Florida lost this year, they led Ole Miss 17-7 at halftime.
Gave up 2 big plays in that game. Tebow was cut short on a 4th and 1, and the ball in field goal range, and they trailed by 1 at that point. Total yards now. It's been a defensive-oriented game, 163 to 152. Harvin has had a big game so far. He goes in motion to the left. Georgia rushes only 3. They drop 8. Tebow flushed out to his left. Lets it go, and it is dropped by Brandon James, number 25.
Well, you don't see that. That is probably the biggest clutch player on this football team, Brandon James. Tebow made a great play to get outside the pocket, put it right on target, and James, the punt returner and kick returner, took his eye slightly off it and dropped it. I remember Urban Meyer has faked punts in his career. Remember the SEC championship on the way to the national championship.
Meyer is 7 of 7 while in Florida on fake punts, but this one will be a pooch kick. And it's going to be, touchdown. He got it.
Let's go over the rule again. In college football, you can go into the end zone. It's just the ball. In pro football, if you go into the end zone, you can't touch the ball. This is a perfect play.
And the man who ultimately downed it is the guy who snapped it, James Smith. 35 yards down at the 2, and it was Brandon James who was down there as well. Matthew Stafford banged up a bit in the first half. He and the Bulldogs take over first down at their own 2, and Noshawn Marino will be on the field as well. Tuesday night on CBS College Sports, TCU at 8-1, ranked 12th. Utah undefeated. The game Thursday night, CBS College Sports, 8 o'clock Eastern time.
Great football game. TCU showed against BYU they're one of the fastest teams in college football.
14-3 here. First down at the Georgia 2. Noshawn Marino, deep man in the eye. Double tight end set. Marino out to the 5. He picked up 3. Well, it is time now to cue the duck. Time for the annual, or the weekly rather, Aflac trivia question. Of course, Georgia defeated the last year's national champions last week. Who was the last team to defeat the previous 2 AP national champions in consecutive weeks? Second down. Play fake. Stafford. Massaquoi. First down at the 21. Yep.
Fearless. Totally fair. The gunslinger. I'm telling you, if you don't get to the gunslinger's going to get you. I mean, this ball is going right in traffic right here. Watch, he turns his back and guns it. He guns it through 3 linebackers. Such confidence in his arm. Look at from behind how crowded this is, and he sticks it in there. It's just, some guys got it, some guys don't. I didn't have it. I'm envious.
Yeah, but you lasted 14 years in the NFL, so for a guy of average talent.
I'd trade 1 year for this, I'll tell you that right now.
20-yard gain, and it's a first down, or a 15-yard gain. Mix up in the backfield, and Marino comes left and doesn't get much at all. Now let's go back to New York once again. Here's Tim Brando.
All right, Vern, every week Jonathan Dwyer's making a big play for Paul Johnson's team. Look at this, 66 yards. His first score was 36, so he's got a couple on the day. They lead Florida State. In the ACC, look at this. Clemson up on BC. They just scored at 17-6 with the PAT pending. And Duke has just scored to make it 19-14. By the way, when was the last time Tennessee had a good offense without David Cutcliffe being a part of it?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's also a shot across the bow, I think.
Yes.
Second down and 9. Here's Stafford in trouble. And he finds a receiver and gets a first down.
Great play by Chris Durham that time. What you have to do when the quarterback scramble is go help your quarterback. Durham was going to the middle of the field. When he sees his quarterback scramble, Durham spins and comes back and helps Stafford. Gave him his only outlet for the first down. You know, Georgia's really survived. Florida made it 14-3 with about, 7 minutes to go in the first half. They had a nice long drive. They stopped Florida once at the end of the half, Florida at the beginning of the half, and now they've taken it off their own end zone.
First down at the 35-yard line. Marino goes right. Look at him hurdle. Almost broke it. He's down at the 47-yard line for the second time this season. we have seen Marino with that patented move up and over a defender.
Yeah, follow number 49, Sean Chappis this time. He reads it outside, then he leaps and accelerates all in the same motion. I tell you, it's a pretty successful running game here for Georgia. It's been loosened up with the play-action pass. The I formation play-action pass has been devastating.
It was Ryan Stamper this time, and actually, if he'd been running the 110s, he would have knocked the hurdle down. He wasn't that high. But it still looked pretty. Caleb King gives Marino a break. Here's Stafford play action. A.J. Green first down at the 30.
Perfect call. I don't know if Bobo is finding his game, offensive coordinator for Georgia, but it is a corner blitz, and he gets the call the opposite way. Here comes the corner blitz, so they have to be weak to this side of rotation. So the play action is the opposite. Look at him rotate away from the play, so he's got the perfect call on for the rotation of the slant inside. You know who's been quiet? A.J. Green's been quiet. When are they going to go to this guy?
He's top of the screen right now. Caleb King is still the running back after the 16-yard gain. Play fake again. Stafford, right side, drills it, intercepted. Picked off, and here we go down the sideline. Joe Hayden.
Going to score.
Hayden is being chased. He cuts back. He might have gone all the way. He still might. Down at the 1.
Tell you, Joe Hayden got away with one here, Vern. Stuck his hand out and grabbed A.J. Green and didn't get a call. Watch the coverage. It was a fake slant to a corner. Right here. Here's the matchup. Watch him stick out his left hand. A.J.'s going to come inside and then go back outside. Watch him reach out and grab him. See how he grabbed him? That put him inside and made the interception here. Here's the grab right there with one arm, and it puts him inside enough to make the play.
That is an 88-yard return to the 1-yard line for Joe Hayden, his second interception of the season. And it's 1st and goal, Florida. Tebow, touchdown.
Power off. This time, instead of going inside, Tebow bounces it outside. Just one of those devastating plays. Boy, you know, you could almost feel, I mean, he was going to go to A.J. Green. They had the good call on, post corner, and Hayden did a good job, stuck his arm out, and then ran underneath the throw to make the interception.
That brings Jonathan Phillips on for the extra point. It's good. And as Georgia appeared to be threatening, Stafford intercepted by Joe Hayden. Joe Hayden returns it 88 yards. Massaquoi stopped him at the 1. That was it. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Aflac, Papa John's, the new AT&T, and by Geico. Joe Hayden with an 88-yard interception return down at the 1. But the former high school quarterback might have provided the difference in the game. And coming up, the 5-star play of the game presented by Wrangler.
Yeah, he's the leading candidate.
I would
think
so, yes.
It was such a well-crafted drive by Georgia. They got Marino off. You know, Marino's at 71 yards rushing. Stafford was on his game, the Florida defense. But remember we said against Stanford, you can't play zone. Georgia played man, they challenge every throw, and they got an interception out of it. You have to give them credit. A lot of people are afraid to play man against A.J. Green. They played man, and they got the interception.
Richard Samuel is the deep man. Caleb Sturgis will kick off for Florida. And that one back Samuel up 5 yards deep, and he'll.
No. Well, Samuel's only 17, but he almost aged his coach about 10 years if he came out on that one.
That's the first time I've seen a 17-year-old have a senior moment.
Hell, that could have been bad.
Sean Chaffis grabbed him, almost tackled him.
That was a good play by Chaffis. Number 49 says, no. I know you used to do this in high school. He said, no.
There's your leading candidate for what were you thinking?
That's for sure.
And so from the 20, Matthew Stafford and the Bulldogs start from a deep hole, down by 18. No Sean Marino back on the field.
Now remember, Bobo said against Alabama they gave up on the run too early.
Play fake. Fired it out. Sutherland is popped as he gets the ball. And Dustin Doe, number 32, the linebacker, made the stop. Now let's take a look at Home Depot's tools for success.
Well, the tools in this game is man-to-man coverage, even though they got good receivers. But that arm out right there, that little arm bar, he got away with that. It actually spun him underneath the throw. It was in the perfect spot. But let's give Florida credit for something. They know you can't zone up Stafford. They're going after him, and they're making him make the perfect throw.
Second down 10 from the eye. Marino. And let's go now back to the studio. Tim Brando in this Liberty Mutual update.
All right, Vern, another fly in the ointment goes down. Tulsa was 8-0, but this David Johnson pass on 4th down goes incomplete. They had 4 tries from inside the 12. We're down to 7 unbeatens. There'll be 6 after tonight's Texas Tech game. Alabama's rolling, and Kentucky holds on with an interception with a minute left to clinch it for the Cats against Mississippi State. Back to you.
All right, Tim, a little subplot in that Tulsa-Arkansas game, of course. Gus Malzahn, who was the offensive coordinator, and whatever happened to Mitch Mustaine, is now the offensive coordinator at Tulsa. So Arkansas wins it. Time has been called. 7:10 to go in the third. 21-3 Florida. Back in Jacksonville, and we have time to answer the silent Aflac trivia question. The Duck didn't speak today. Who was the last team to defeat the previous 2 AP national champions? Northwestern, 1943, over Ohio State and Minnesota. They were coached by Lynn Pappy Waldorf. 3rd and 9. Stafford with the audible. Four-man rush, stunning. Stafford in trouble, and it's not free. 4th down. Dustin Doe missed a couple of games with an injury, back in the lineup, and 3 and out this time for the Georgia Bulldogs.
I'll tell you, the pressure came to Stafford around the corner from the outside, and Brandon Spikes was the middle linebacker lined up at a defensive end position. Watch him come right around the corner and beats Bowling, and Stafford felt it, and that's why he had to kind of step and throw it off balance. Had nothing on that throw.
Brandon James awaits Brian Mims' punt, and he is at the 29-yard line.
Here we go.
Yep, here we go. Georgia held Trendon Holiday in check last week against LSU. This one high, but relatively short. It will bounce, and then James picks it up on one hop. He's cut down at the 36-yard line.
Such a smart play by James that time. It's going to hurt his average, but it's going to help his team, because that would have rolled about another 10 or 15 yards back.
45-yard punt, 2 on the return. Gators have the ball. (21-3) here in Jacksonville. Next week, our crew heads down to Baton Rouge. It's Nick Saban's return, Alabama and LSU. Remember a year ago? What's at stake? Leadership in the SEC West.
Seems like there's more at stake than that if you're Les Miles, doesn't it?
Arenas, touchdown Alabama. What's coming? John Parker Wilson, fumble. LSU has recovered. Jacob Hester dives over, touchdown.
Great team. Good luck to you.
Next Saturday, second-ranked Alabama rolling again today at LSU, 3:30 Eastern. There might be some drama associated with Nick Saban's return. 21-3 here. The ball was respotted, ruled during the timeout that it had touched a Georgia player So Tebow throws on first down from the 44, and the catch is made by Riley Cooper, number 11.
Tebow's pass complete to number 11, Riley Cooper.
Play that's a featured second half for Florida so far. A little play action pass. Watch Tebow throw this right into the face of the slot blitz, right at him. Doesn't even, think about that guy coming at him. Makes a good over-the-shoulder throw. Nice high release, makes the play.
Second down and 2. There's a quick flip, I beg your pardon, out to Harbin, and Prince Miller was up to defend.
Yeah, it's a good thing that was not a well-thrown ball, because Prince Miller had that one tagged, and he was going to go the other direction.
One of the key plays in the first half was a Prince Miller interception of Tim Tebow that was negated because of an unnecessary roughness call on Jarius Wynn.
Well, here comes that point in the game where if you're Urban Meyer, you want to control the clock. He knows how explosive Georgia can be, and he's got a clock controller at 15.
Brandon James comes out of the backfield. That's 3 wides to the right side. Tebow hesitates, runs, first down. Nothing new with that.
No, control the clock. He is the best clock controlling short yardage back, I think, in college football. See, right now, Urban Meyer's looking up there and says, every time I make a first down, I take 2 minutes off that clock.
And it shows 6:00 remaining third. Harbin wide to the left. What a big game this is for both these teams.
Well, yeah, I mean, the winner of this one is still in the national championship hunt.
Florida in control right now, 21-3. Here's Tebow. Now he throws it down the left side, has a man open. It is caught, touchdown. Louis Murphy, number 9. And he beat Alan Asher, number 2, 44 yards. Gators increase the lead.
I'll tell you, Tebow had better stats last year, but he's a better quarterback this year.
In what way, Gary?
He just is so much more in control of his football game now. Just taking care of all of his weapons on the field. That's why Florida's so dangerous. They could be as dangerous offense as any team in the country.
Jonathan Phillips for the extra point.
Great release by Murphy. He went inside Asher Allen. Usually you see a receiver go outside when he wants to go deep. Watch him take the inside release and then widen back out to make the catch. Line of scrimmage, see how he's inside? Then he gets, he grabbed his shirt. That's why Asher Allen was yelling at the referee. He used the leverage of Allen's shirt to kind of catapult it. It was almost a NASCAR move. Did you see him grab the shirt and he created leverage and speed? Watch, inside release, comes out, Asher's in perfect position, pulls his shirt and goes right by him.
Well, Joe Hayden got away with one defensively. Louis Murphy gets away with one offensively. Tebow's 8 of 11 in the game. Louis Murphy got away with one. And he got the touchdown pass from Tim Tebow. It is 28-3.
Yeah, right. This happens all the time, by the way, in football. This is part of the game. You know, everybody's grabbing and holding. We see this all the time. But we're going to show you that the side judge's angle on the play kept him from seeing the play and when it happened.
And we'll show you that after the kick, which is going to happen right now. Richard Samuel, the deep man. This one is returnable. Out to the 23. Gary, take us through this again.
We're going to kind of go a little bit backwards on this play, okay? Here's the side judge right up here, okay? Now what happens is he looks back. The play happened right about there. So he's actually going to look through the player and he doesn't see it. See, as it goes backwards, he's actually blocked on the play when Murphy grabs him on the play. Watch him when he grabs him. That angle, he doesn't see it when it happens right there.
End result, a 44-yard touchdown Reception by Lewis Murphy. First down, Stafford and the Bulldogs. Right side. Catch is made by D'Amico Goodman, number 85. And for more on that last play, let's get into Tracy Wolfson.
Guys, Allen sitting at the end of the bench, so frustrated. He said, I was running on top of him. I had him. He grabbed my shirt. He did a demonstration for his teammates on the sideline. A very upset Allen, and his defensive coordinator, Willie Martinez, came up and just said, keep your head in the game. Come on, keep your head in the game. He knows, though, they got away with the one.
Yeah. See, one of the advantages of playing man-to-man is you can make an interception. One of the disadvantages is anything that goes wrong can change the scoreboard.
Second down 9, Stafford. Oh, A.J. Green diving catch. First down out to the 42. Janoris Jenkins with the tackle, but that's a gain of 17. Look at the possession chart for Georgia.
Yeah, they have moved the ball pretty good. I mean, this is a different Florida defense, and Stafford is a threat, and there's time to go. But boy, there's the second half. Yeah. You bet, nothing's been happening right there. That interception just changed it.
That was me on the telestrator.
Well, that was
obviously.
Good.
No, I haven't gotten the technique down yet. I don't know. You got to erase.
You got to erase
sort of
it right
yeah.
away. Well, I think that ball might have skipped, and Coach Meyer here is going to challenge this one. And we are at, what are we at now?
1 of 9.
1 of 9.
1 of 9. Yes.
I think Brandon Spikes talked Urban Meyer into challenging this
Florida
play.
coach is challenging the last play on the catch.
And Brandon Spikes better hope there's a better look at this one, because that'd be the last time he listens to Brandon. All right. Number 2.
So far, Spikes is not in good shape.
See, he's looking at it right here, and he goes, and then he turns right around to Urban Meyer and says, Coach, it skipped. One more. He's under it. He can't see it again.
I am reminded of the fact that Urban Meyer put a gag order on Brandon Spikes the week of the Tennessee game, right, because he said Tennessee quit a year ago.
And ironically, the only piece of news from any of the interviews this week came from Urban Meyer when he said that Tebow had a little bit of a tweaked knee.
That's right. Everybody else had a gag order placed on him.
I can't tell if the ball touched the ground. If it did, so far I have not been able to see it.
Brandon Spikes, the junior out of Shelby, North Carolina, had one of the big plays in that huge win for Florida against LSU.
You know, remember, this is the odd year where Florida only plays 3 SEC road games, because this is the year it should or could have been in Athens. Their only remaining road game at Vanderbilt.
I do not think we're going to overturn this one. Gators schedule go back up to the 27th of September when they were knocked off or defeated at home by 1. And at Vanderbilt and South Carolina.
And this game looking big now too here, because you know when you're playing for the national championship, this is the last football game at Florida State. Florida State's a much better team. We could maybe see South Carolina, couldn't we?
I would think so.
That'd be fun.
You want to lobby?
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Catch. First down.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Brandon said, I was right there. I saw it. It skipped.
The gag order has been continued. And Florida charged with a timeout. That is their first. They lead it 28-3. And Matthew Stafford and the Bulldogs with a first down at the 42-yard line.
I would say that predominantly Georgia has used more than half of their plays have been play action passes, of their passes at least.
Ben Jones, the freshman center, looks back at Stafford, now ready to snap it back in the eye, and 2 wide receivers wide to the right.
No.
Oh my goodness. Fumble.
And there's no doubt. No doubt they've got it.
Teron Sanders This one getting out of control.
Out of control. Spin move also by Teron Sanders that time. But Marino with the vision, did he take his eye off the ball when he was looking to run? Because it's a perfect toss. Went right through him, and then he missed it, and 92 Sanders picks it up. Watch his spin on Stafford. That's why they recruit those type of guys. When you say Florida has a top recruiting class, that's because they have defensive linemen that can do stuff like this. Watch this. Gets it. 1, 2, and a spin. That's a defensive tackle.
He will save that replay to show to his grandkids. Plus 12 turnover ratio for the Gators for the season. Here's Harvin, and he is caught and dropped near the 7-yard line. Sanders, wow, what a spin move that was.
The self-inflicted wounds and the plays that have gone against Georgia, you know, could have been pass interference, could have been offensive pass interference. The plays that have gone against Georgia, this is a terrible self-inflicted wound right here. Interception when they have the hand to the face mask. You're not going to beat Florida. You know, you got to play almost your best game. But when you're playing a bad game, you can get embarrassed.
Here's Tebow. He'll keep it up the middle. Touchdown! Gators!
Tebow, 7-yard run.
Left guard comes around. It's Carl Johnson. Watch him fit in on Gamble, the interception guy last week, and just gets it right in there. Fake the sweep. Pull your guard around Carl Johnson and fit on the linebacker, Daryl Gamble. That's the way you play offense. This offense gets so much for Florida. This is the offense that Urban Meyer envisioned when he came to Florida.
Well, got 4 days remaining, and see how many right-ends Tim Tebow gets on Tuesday. He's got 3 touchdowns on the ground today. Thursday on Survivor, the tribe think there's going to be a merger, but nothing is ever what it seems. Don't miss a new Survivor Thursday on CBS, America's most watched network. Sun descending on the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, at least there's going to be a 2-game lead now for Florida over Georgia, and it's a team. Listen, this schedule for Georgia has been brutal, and playing LSU last week is tough.
Bobbled in the end zone, brings it out. It's Samuel. And he gets out to the 17. Let's go to Tim Brando for this Heisman Watch presented by Nissan.
Vern, in a league of terrific quarterbacks, Zach Robinson deserves his share of attention. He's had 4 touchdowns today against Iowa State. 12 of 19, 312 yards, 4 touchdowns and a pick. Among the other contenders, Javon Ringer, 21 rushes today, only 54 yards, 321 total carries on the year for him, though. And, of course, Colt McCoy and Graham Harrell may be fighting it out for first place in the Heisman balloting tonight. Back to you.
All right, Tim, here's the reigning champ, and don't count him out yet.
I don't know if I'm going to do Tim's show anymore if he doesn't put Tebow up there in his finals anymore. Come on that radio show. I'm going to call him out.
On first down, the toss. Nothing doing for Marino. Now, Tebow, last year in this game, had the injured right shoulder and was intercepted 3 times.
If you were a spread team, is there anybody that you wouldn't trade for Tim Tebow? If you were a spread running team, I know if you're Texas Tech, you're not going to do it.
Right.
But if you're anybody else, don't you want Tebow running your spread?
Sounds like rancher talk.
Yeah.
Stafford, Massaquoi. Well, Tebow, the only sophomore to ever win the Heisman, trying to repeat. Archie Griffin repeated in 74 and 75, but his numbers were down his second year.
Well, let's be honest here, though. He's only got one chance. He's got to run the table, and then he has to beat number 2 Alabama in a big game in the SEC championship.
And you know what? We've gotten to know him pretty well. I don't think getting the Heisman is on his mind.
No.
First down and 10. Stafford. Did they get the play? Yes, they did. Here's Stafford left side. Caught by Michael Moore, who was wearing number 26 today to honor a teammate who's out for the year. Tony Wilson normally wears number 82.
Well, it's somewhat garbage time here for Georgia's stats. I mean, Florida again is going to say, go ahead, throw all those little short passes you want. We're going to play clock.
Marino fumbled on the last series. He's alongside Stafford.
Great play. With speed.
Yep.
Janoris Jenkins that time. This is another first-year freshman. Janoris Jenkins worked his way into the starting lineup. He reads this screen so fast and beats the blocker around the outside to get a leg on the receiver.
Gain of 1 yard, second down.
Gain of 1. Second down. Caleb King on the field. Little flip left side, and it's caught by D'Amico Goodman. Georgia trailing 35-3. Walsh, 2 missed field goals, 1 hit the left upright from 27 yards away. Go back to the first half.
Gain of 3 yards, third down 6.
And they had a personal foul penalty, negating a Prince Miller interception, 2 turnovers. I still look back at that second possession. They had a second down and 2.
Second and 2. Marino left the field, and they tried to throw a deep pass that got sacked on a play.
Give the Gators an opportunity. They'll capitalize. Final 44 seconds, third quarter. Blitz coming. Stafford tipped, intercepted. Picked off by Dustin Doe, number 32.
What a play.
And Stafford is limping as he comes to the sideline.
This time it's his right leg. A disguised defense. Florida jumped in it real late. And Dustin Doe was the middle robber. He thought he had him wide open, and Doe goes up and tips it and stays with it himself. You know, say what you want now, but there's no way. Florida style points are going to matter here because it comes down to the end of the year. They have to think of the possibility that could they sneak by an undefeated Penn State. I don't personally think it's going to happen, but they also want to win all tiebreakers, so they got to keep throwing points on the board.
Here's the handoff to Harvin. He goes right. Darrell Gamble is the first to make the tackle, and a flag is down at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, absolute holding on the play. It was pretty easy to see, too. I think it was Jason Watkins. I'm not, but it was pretty easy grab.
Illegal block in the back. Number 77 on the offense. Penalty 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Down remains first.
Yeah, Jason Watkins came around, pulling around, and you can see him grab or push or whatever, but it was pretty obvious.
Tebow and Stafford, the 2 competing quarterbacks, both juniors. And Matthew Stafford has had a tough afternoon. 16 of 26, 2 interceptions. The backbreaker was an 88-yard interception return by Joe Hayden. That set up a 1-yard touchdown plunge. See if we get this play run before the end of the quarter. I don't think so. That's the end of 3 with the score 35-3. We'll return to Jacksonville Municipal Stadium right after this word from your local station. Tim Tebow's alma mater, Nice High School in nearby suburban Jacksonville. They won last night, but their record's only 5-3. This is, I checked these.
That's what you do.
Yeah. And Tebow, how about this efficiency? 8 of 11 and 3 rushing touchdowns. Fourth quarter. And the Florida Gators lead this one 35-3. Offensive plays today, Gary. Look at this. 29 plays, 35 points.
Big plays. Has always been the mark of this Florida team.
Brandon James in motion. James goes right. And after the penalty, that was a first down and 25, so it'll be second and long now. Let's talk a little bit about the long-range. This is such a big win for the Gators. I don't think that Georgia's going to come from behind. Am I early with that?
No,
okay.
no, I don't think so. I'd be,
Yeah. Stunned.
Yes, I was. Listen, they now I think are the hottest team in college football. I really do. I think everybody has served notice watching them play today that their defense has grown up. Tebow's becoming a monster again, and they've emerged with 2 new weapons. I think every defensive coordinator is looking at them and say, all right, where's the weakness? They're veterans in the offensive line. They got speed all over the field.
Here's one of the speedsters, Jeffrey Demps, number 2, on second down and 16. He caught his first touchdown pass last week, a 61-yarder from Tebow. And when he made the catch, Urban Meyer said he turned around and looked for his extra point team. He was so sure that Demps was going to score. Third down now. Georgia band not quite as enthusiastic as the Gator band in the other end zone. 3rd and 7. Tebow, oh boy, almost beheaded. Flag is down. This is going to be a face mask.
Yeah,
sure.
I think it was Ellerbe. Tebow started to duck just as Ellerbe came around, and that's what happens sometimes.
Disregard the foul. There is no flag.
Watch Ellerbe come to the outside. Takes an inside rush. Oh, got him on the shirt collar right between the helmet and his neck right there. Kind of brushed against the face mask, but that's incidental. It's no longer called, so that was the right call.
And that's a 4th down now. Chaz Henry is on, and the crowd reacting to the Jumbotron replay. This will be Henry's 4th punt. Prince Miller is back at the 25. Henry chases Miller inside the 10. I thought there was a push in the back, but there's no flag thrown. And Lorenzo Edwards, number 26, is there to make the tackle. A 54-yard punt. 6-yard return. 13-13 to go in this one. It's been a nice day for Tim Tebow.
And now it's time for our Geico scoring recap.
Florida got on the board first. Percy Harvin, a 13-yard run, 7-0 Gators lead. Walsh with a 35-yard field goal to cut the margin to 7-3. And then it was Tebow with the rushing touchdown. Halftime score 14-3 Florida. They ripped it open in the 3rd quarter. First of all, Tebow with his 2nd touchdown, 21-3. Then Tebow to Lewis Murphy, a 44-yard pass, 28-3. That was followed by an 88-yard interception return, and Tim Tebow's 8-yard touchdown run, 35-3. Gators lead, and they're on the verge of taking a 2-game lead in the SEC East chase. First down 10. Georgia in the 2nd half. Interception, punt, fumble, interception.
Yeah, and the one time they didn't turn it over, it was a 3-and-out.
1st and 10, Stafford out of the spread. He has really been banged around today. Numb elbow, limping First on the left leg and then the right. Here's a handoff to Marino. And Knowshon Marino out near the 19-yard line.
Knowshon Marino, the ball carrier.
Well, Vern, I was just handed a card just reminding me about what this Florida team has done since the fourth quarter of Arkansas. So we started the fourth quarter here. So the last 12 quarters for this Florida team: 21-0 against Arkansas, 51-21 LSU, 63-5, and today 35-3. That's 170-29 in the last 12 quarters for this team.
Here's Marino, blitz, and a flag thrown before the snap. And it's getting a little chippy in the backfield.
That averages out to 57-10 if you go to Purdue. 57-10.
What happens if you go to Texas?
Well, I don't know.
It doesn't count?
Only with the Purdue. Come on, this team is on fire, people. This team is on fire, and I don't see them losing a game. And
false start, 89 on the offense, penalty 5 yards. Down remains second.
That's Bruce Figgins, the tight end, number 89.
The only time that Georgia's really significantly moved the ball is when Stafford has been on fire throwing the post route and throwing it in between 2 or 3 guys. It's been a great defensive game for Florida.
Second down, 12. Spikes coming from the near side. That one is knocked backwards by Jermaine Cunningham, number 49. And Spikes is down.
Spikes in this alignment when they're in their nickel and dime package actually plays a defensive end position. I think he was just joshing everybody here. He lines up at the end. Marino blocks him, does a pretty good job at it, but he shoves him back. And then at the end of the play, Marino shoves him back a little bit, and then Spikes gives it the "I've been shot" routine. Marino didn't take too kindly, but I don't think the Florida fans really care what the Georgia people think anyway. Not after the celebration.
Not this afternoon.
Yeah.
Third down, 12.
Delay a game now.
Penalty 5 yards. And remains third.
See, this is where the 40-second clock gets a little different for teams, because as soon as that ball was incomplete, the official upstairs started the 40-second clock, but then we watched Brandon Spikes turn and roll and push. Somebody forgot to look at the clock. It kept going down and down and down.
12:20 to go in this one, and it's 3rd and 17. Gators, Spikes came across the line of scrimmage. They may get 5 back.
Marino and Spikes are still talking.
Stafford pointing at Spikes.
Prior to the snap, offside, 51 on the off defense. Penalties 5 yards. Down remains third.
Caleb King is in now. Georgia has been held without a TD touchdown one time in 49 games. That's a heck of a note. Stafford pumps once, steps up, goes deep, double coverage down the left side. This one is caught. A.J. Green at the 33-yard line.
A.J. Green and Larry Fitzgerald are 2 of the best I've ever seen at this. Timing their jump and catching the ball up at the top possible point. Great coverage. Jenkins is a little smaller. Jenkins goes up. A.J. goes up, catches it at the highest point.
And a 54-yard gain for the Bulldogs. First down at the 33. Blitz from the corner. Stafford. Chris Durham intercepted. Picked off, and it's going the other direction. Ahmad Black. He's got a blocker to help on Stafford. Stafford slows him up just enough to allow Massaquoi to come back and make the tackle.
You know, I know this is going to sound funny, but I really admire Matthew Stafford. He is gunning this ball into coverage. You got to do it. You got to throw it off those linebackers. Another wonderful play by Dustin Doe. He had the interception before, and this time he turns around and tips it with his left hand. And it's a wonderful play, but you know, when you're behind, that's how guys like Favre and Marino throw those 5 and 6 interceptions. They just keep gunning it down there.
And so on the turnover from Black, a 64-yard return. And it is the 4th career game with 3 interceptions. Keyston Moore is on the field at running back. Tebow still in there. This is Moore in motion. Tebow. Oh, my goodness, Harvin all by himself in the end zone.
Can you say busted coverage? You can't bust it any more than this.
(41-3).
I think I just saw Urban Meyer tell John Brantley to go warm up.
Black 64-yard interception return, set it up. Tebow with the touchdown pass. Had Murphy earlier. Hits Harvin now.
Watch the safety right here move up on the play. No safety over the top. A total busted coverage. Playing quarter on one side and nothing on the other side. Just, that's as bad as you can do it.
Remarcus Brown, defensive back for the Bulldogs, injured. Lewis Murphy leads the Gator Chomp.
I just really had a feeling. Remember, Vern, the first question you asked me today, would that celebration thing mean anything in this game? And I really thought it would. And I usually don't ever buy this stuff, but I thought they would. Now, you put that with Tebow's speech after they lost that game. I think those two things has this Florida team so focused to get to that championship game.
Remarcus Brown is the injured player. Assisted to the Bulldog bench. Jonathan Phillips on for the extra point. The one loss this year at home against Ole Miss. They had a 31-30 defeat in that game. It was a blocked extra point. The largest margin of victory ever in this series. 40 points in 1996. Tebow, Harvin, 42-3. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by The Home Depot, Liberty Mutual, Chili's, and by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. In September at home, Ole Miss defeated Florida. 45 minutes after the game, Tim Tebow had this to say.
I'm sorry. Extremely sorry. You know, we were hoping for an undefeated season. That was my goal, something Florida's never done here. But I promise you one thing, a lot of good will come out of this. You have never seen any player in the entire country play as hard as I will play the rest of the season, and you never see someone push the rest of the team as hard as I will push everybody the rest of the season, and you never see a team play harder than we will the rest of this season. God bless.
Well, he's had a pretty memorable afternoon. 10 of 13, 2 touchdown passes, 3 rushing touchdowns. The junior from suburban Jacksonville.
Vern, since then, 3 big games. 14 for 21 against LSU, 11 for 15, just 15, 63 points with 15 passes against Kentucky, 10 for 13 today, 35 for 49, 6 touchdowns. He's on a run.
As are the rest of his teammates. Here's the return going left. Samuel still up. Got some speed, doesn't he?
Boy, that's a pretty impressive. That's going to be some football player right there. Young man's only 17 years old. Look at him accelerate. 215, almost 220 pounds. And he's the future because you don't know what's going to happen with these juniors. Now, Marino is eligible to go. He's a third-year sophomore.
Redshirted his freshman year, true freshman. And here's Samuel out of Cartersville, Georgia, a 60-yard return. And Matthew Stafford still on the field. That one caught by Michael Moore, number 26. Let's go back once again to Tim in New York.
All right, Vernon, that wild and wacky ACC, Devontae Richardson in for Christian Ponder here, throws 39 yards to Preston Parker. Now, Ponder would come back in to convert the two-pointer, so it's now a 3-point lead for Georgia Tech. Clemson was up 17-0. Now Boston College has rallied, and Duke and Wake are tied at 30. Vern.
Oh, my goodness. Thanks, Tim. Stafford pumps once, goes deep left corner, and a battle for the ball incomplete.
He almost got it.
A.J. Green.
Is that something? He almost got it. He's what some football players on this field, I'll tell you. Talent all over this field. Watch him go up, highest point, and I think if Will Hill doesn't come over, he might have got that thing.
3rd down and 10.
I think the schedule has gotten this Georgia team. I mean, last year when they beat Florida, they had a bye going into this game. Last week they had to play a very rugged, good, solid football team in LSU.
And they're on the road for 2 more weeks. Total of 42 days between games at home. Here's, how about that little flick?
Yep.
And he overshoots Massaquoi, but Matthew Stafford has had a tough afternoon. He's been banged up, and he's thrown 3 interceptions, Gary.
Yeah, the whole day, the Florida defense, who looks very impressive this year on tape. They redirect, they run, and they run to the football. They're different from a year ago on defense, and Matthew Stafford, as good as he can throw the ball, has been playing into the teeth of this defense. I really agree with Vern. The game changed in a couple of plays. 2nd and 2 on the 10, missed field goal, and the onside kick.
Oh, yes. Don't forget the onside kick. Recovered by Butch Rowley. Here comes a blitz. Stafford on 4th down. It's incomplete. It'll go over on downs. And I'm going to bet that John Brantley comes on at quarterback and Tim Tebow is through for the day.
And I'm going to bet Matthew Stafford's through for the day, too.
Yeah. 10:24 to go. Oh.
You wonder if he'll put him out there, run a play, and then get the crowd to cheer him off the field for a little hand.
My guess is no. Two Red Lobster Scholar athletes for you today for Florida. Phil Trautwein, starting left tackle, GPA of 3.78. He graduated last December. And for the Georgia Bulldogs, Chris Durham, slot receiver, 3.42. Twice an academic honor roll student. Red Lobster's commitment to the investment of our future is shown by donating $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund. Tebow still on, 42-3. They hand it off. Demps. Oh, it's Moody. I beg your pardon. Emmanuel Moody, number 21. Moody had a big game at Florida. Went out with a high ankle sprain. You think
Tebow's done? They just wanted to put him out there for one play so the crowd could cheer him off. Here comes Brantley. Nice move by Urban Meyer. Great round of applause for Tebow. Look at him go into the huddle one more time and listen to the crowd.
Ten of 13, 2 touchdowns, and 3 rushing touchdowns. He has become, in the process, the all-time career leader in rushing touchdowns for the Florida Gators. Here's Brantley, left side, caught by Deontay Thompson, number 6. And Tim Tebow's day worth another look.
Well, he's so different. You know, there's some things he does the same. He's always going to be a great short yardage back. And when you need him to run those plays, he can do it. But he's so able to pick apart a defense and attack you in so many different ways. He's a monster. I'll tell you, he's a monster.
And his team is up 42-3 with 9:17 to go.
Brantley in, right?
Yeah. Threw his first touchdown pass last week. Goes right, and that one is complete. Deontay Thompson. John Brantley, a 6'3", 215-pound redshirt freshman. 99 touchdown passes in Ocala. Surpassed a mark set by Tim Tebow and Xavier Lee. And it's a first down and 10.
Yeah, had a real battle with Cam Newton for that backup spot, and they really liked it. I went and watched him practice one day. He had a sore arm when I was there that day. I didn't get to see him throw, but they told me he could throw the ball.
Same height as Tebow, weighs a little less. Hands it off, and that one didn't work on first down. Emmanuel Moody. 84,600 inside Jacksonville Municipal Stadium. The sun setting to the west over Ocala. Gainesville.
Loss of a yard. Second down 11.
There we are, hard by the St. Johns River in downtown Jacksonville, Florida. Moody still on. He's the transfer from Southern California. Sat out last year, showed a little promise earlier in the season, and then hampered by a high ankle sprain. It was Geno Atkins who came across, tried to get back.
Simulated snap again. Both the left hand and the quarterback will probably come up. Let's see if the center does this. No, not this time. That was more pouncy early. We must have the backups in, and we do. We have the backups in and the offensive line, too.
That's Corey Hobbs, number 79, in at center.
Don't mind any of this. I'd call any play I had if I was Florida. If I wanted to throw the ball, I'd do anything I could. I got my backups in. If Tebow gets nicked, I want Brantley to get as much experience as he can.
Clock still running with 7:40 remaining. Moody is the running back, number 21. Here's Brantley into the corner, and he overthrows Carl Moore, number 16. Well, this is a neutral site. Half the tickets go to the people dressed in orange and blue, and half to red and black.
They're almost all gone. They're all here. Which side do you think of the Florida fans are sitting on? There's the dividing line right behind the goalpost. That's pretty funny.
It really is. Well, Florida.
So if you're heading north in the car, you got a problem. If you're heading south, you're okay. Is that right?
I think that's it. And you're heading south, are you not, after the game? Touchdown! Deontay Thompson from John Brantley. 7-yard pass. It's 48-3.
Well, you know, the argument will be at the end of the year, just start thinking about this. What if there's only one undefeated team? What if Florida runs the schedule? The SEC, do they win all tiebreakers? What if there's 2 undefeated? Will Florida get and pass by an undefeated team? That might end the whole thing. I'll tell you what, if that happens.
What's crossing my mind right now? Tim Brando is back in the studio, and he's saying style points. Style points.
Well, you know, I got to say for Georgia, their 2 biggest games of the year. Alabama, didn't happen. Florida, it didn't happen.
49-3. Offense, defense. On the left, Tim Tebow. On the right, Charlie Strong, defensive coordinator, University of Florida. They both have reason to celebrate today. Now it's time for the DirecTV player of the game. Guess who? 10 of 13 for Tebow, 154 yards. He accounted for 5 touchdowns in all. Very efficient performance.
Yeah. I would not want to turn on this tape of Florida and try to figure out what to do. They run like 6 offenses.
Here is the kick. Samuel bobbles it again.
Champ is going to tackle him.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's get you up to date with the BCS standings. They'll be updated again, of course, on Sunday afternoon. Texas with a big game tonight. Alabama's a winner. Penn State off. Oklahoma, USC both playing tonight. Georgia, of course, losing here. Tech, Florida, currently 8th. Oklahoma State winning big, and Utah tonight at New Mexico. Joe Cox has come in at quarterback now to replace Matthew Stafford.
Florida at least goes to 5, it looks like.
You think?
Because 2 teams are going to lose above them in the dynamics of this win.
Here's Samuel going left. And we've got a moment to head back to New York once again. Here's the style points leader, Tim Brando.
All right, Vern. Pittsburgh, Notre Dame, 4th overtime, longest game of the year. And after a self-induced frog strangler, Pittsburgh's Connor Lee hits a 23-yard field goal to win it for Coach Wannstedt, 36-33. Clemson clings to that 3-point lead over BC. Duke and Wake are tied at 30 in overtime. We'll keep you posted.
All right, Timmy, second down here. Joe Cox, the junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, heads left and gets a first down to the 37-yard line.
Joe Cox, the ball carrier. Tackle made by number 4.
Well, a year ago, BCS, remember what happened in week 1? Then 2, 6, and 7 lost. Week 3, 2 and 4. All the way down to week 6, 1, 2, and 6 lost. Week 7.
Yeah.
And at the end of it all, LSU was in the championship game.
Yeah, when the BCS rankings came out, this is what happened to all the teams when they first came out. So there's still a lot of stuff that can happen.
Richard Samuel on first down. That's Dan Mullen.
Yeah, Tebow's got nobody else left to hug. He's coming up to hug you, Vern. Next.
Oh, boy. Dan Mullen, the offensive coordinator. He and his wife, Megan. By the way, he has a, what is it, a Wheaton Terrier that he and Megan have, a young dog that they named Heisman. When it's 49-3, you get all kinds of stuff that's not going to help you.
I tell you, that's for them to pitch this 3-pointer. Georgia had to help, obviously. Yep. They had to help.
Samuel to the 40-yard line. Tackle made by Wandy Pierre-Louis. That's a gain of 22.
Now, my opinion here is that Florida will at least go into the SEC championship. I mean, they got South Carolina at home. That Vandy thing, you know, people have trouble playing up at Vandy, and they keep spread out, so that could be a challenge. But I think they're going to go into that championship game and face Alabama either with 1 loss or no losses. And if I was Florida, I would want to play Alabama with no losses.
And here's the pitch to the right, Samuel. Why do you say that, Gary?
Well, they need a higher-ranked team to beat right at the end.
Got it.
Because that'll be a very visible game. If Alabama's in there playing for a chance to play in the national championship, that will be a lot of eyeballs, and it'll be a real quality win.
Well, Florida's going to be 7-1 at Vandy, then at home. Their last conference game is South Carolina. They've got the Citadel at home, and then finally on the road at Florida State. They haven't cinched the SEC East, but they've taken a giant step toward it. Here's Cox, left side, deep, incomplete.
And remember, that Vandy game will be the one. That's the one because Vandy is 2 losses themselves. So they need to, that's a big game for Florida next week on the road, their last road game in the SEC. Yeah, he's got everybody now.
Little hug for the chain gun guy. It is going to be 3rd down. Israel Troop, number 28, goes wide to the left along with Michael Moore. Richard Samuel is in the backfield. It's 3rd down. Knocked away. It'll be 4th down. And once again, let's go back to New York. Here's Tim.
All right, Vern. Florida State's Bobby Bowden was 12-0 against Georgia Tech. Well, the Yellow Jackets win today after they recover this Marcus Sims fumble in the end zone. 31-28 the final. That means Maryland now is in sole possession of first place in the Atlantic Division. Back to you.
All right, Tim. Of course, Georgia on the road. They've still got to go to Kentucky and down to Auburn. Then they've got a bye week before, an off week rather, before they face Georgia Tech in Athens. 4th down. Cox, first down at the 26-yard line. Israel Troop, number 28. I'll take a look at their schedule. Boy, tough to rebound from a 49-3 thrashing.
Right. We've documented already. It's 42 days before they come home and play Georgia Tech. Brutal stretch. Vern, I wasn't aware, just got a note passed that Vandy has a bye week this week, ready, waiting for this Florida team to come up there and play the game next week.
First down and 10 here with under 4 to go. Samuel. Well, Timmy's getting a lot of airtime. Let's go back to Tim for another update.
Oh, Vern, I'm just styling. Wake Forest and Duke went into overtime after the Deacons kicked the field goal. Duke's pass, this one thrown by Thaddeus Lewis, intercepted by Alfonso Smith. Wake Forest holds off David Cutcliffe's team 33-30 in overtime.
Okay, Tim, thank you. Boy, the ACC is just wacky. Cox. Right side in the corner of the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown. Aaron White, number 81, made his first catch of his Georgia career last week. Now has his second and his first touchdown from Cox. Second touchdown. Cam Newton giving a little applause.
Right. Well, the Georgia fans need the Florida fans to applaud because all the Georgia fans are gone.
Touchdown comes with 3:09 to go. The extra point is up and good. (49-10) with 3:09 remaining. (49-10), Florida leading, 3:09 remaining. Now time for the five-star play of the game presented by Wrangler. First drive by Georgia in the third quarter. Here's Mick Huber with the call.
Georgia on the drive. First down, the Gators 30. And Stafford again on play action, dropping to throw. And fires the ball off here to the side. It's intercepted by Joe Hayden. Hayden down the left sideline in midfield. Hayden to the 40. Hayden to the 30. Hayden now in some traffic. Stop to the 25. Still on his feet to the 20. To the 15. To the 10. And to the 5. And down to the goal line. And he is down to the pylon. Touchdown. No, what about 1 yard line? My.
Overs. And of course they scored on the next play. Joe Hayden out of Maryland. You know what I learned a year ago? No more dancing in the booth.
No, we're done with that.
We're going to leave it to the kids.
Right. You started it.
Oh, goodness. Chris Rainey is on the field to help with the return of the kick. Here's Blair Walsh. Rainey.
He didn't.
Well, there's a flag down. I'm still trying to figure out what that was at the beginning of the kickoff return.
Well, you know, it's, I think, what you call a little hot dogging is what you really call that, don't you think?
All right, here's Chris Rainey.
And then he says, you know, I'm going to take it. No, I'm not. I'm faster than everybody, and now I'm going for it. Actually, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, really. But there's at least the odor of mustard in the air.
Yep. Oh, well.
Block in the back.
When you're ahead by 39 points, as long as your coach doesn't get mad at you, you're okay.
Well, at least he smiled.
Yep.
Been a little tense this week. No, we talked
During
to him.
the return, illegal block in the back, number 37 on the return team. Penalty 10 yards by the foul. First down.
Our conversation on Wednesday, he said, all I'm concerned about right now is Wednesday practice. We've got 22 practice periods.
I mean, legitimately, I know we were having fun in the open. I mean, when these coaches look at these games, they're thinking the same way. There's 50 ways we can win or lose this game. And they have to go over all these details. And, you know, it's just, it scares you. Start looking at the tapes.
That view you just saw was Urban Meyer looking up at the Jumbotron where they were replaying Chris Rainey's kickoff.
Right. I know.
I sense a gag order.
Right. I think he's going to go, you're fast, but I'm still in charge.
Emmanuel Moody, number 21. Let's go back to Tim once again in New York.
All right, Vern, an alumni update. Tracy's Michigan Wolverines won't go bowling for the first time since '74 as Gary's Purdue Boilermakers win on this hook and ladder, 48-42 Purdue. Your producer, Craig Silver, will be happy. His Missouri Tigers hold on to beat Baylor. And sadly, Vern, it wasn't a pleasant homecoming at Matador Stadium in Seguin as Texas Lutheran goes down to Hardin-Simmons 52-6. Back to you.
Bravo, Tim. That was wonderful. That was very good. Very good.
I'm humbled. Doesn't happen often, but I'm humbled. That's a double oofta.
Yeah, well.
Oh, well. It won't inhibit the celebration at homecoming.
Beating Michigan just ain't what it used to be, though.
Is that right? Oh, goodness. 49-10, 2 minutes to go.
You mentioned, Vern, all the stuff, and I know everybody plays with this stuff, all the stuff that could happen still. But there's still, you said that wacky ACC, but there's still a lot of games. That Georgia Tech-Georgia game will be important. The Florida State-Florida game will be important, and the Clemson-South Carolina game will be important at the end when people start voting and strength of conference comes in.
Couple of flags on the near side. Well, look at these non-conference games in the SEC with BCS implications.
Right. And you look at the SEC and the top is very strong. But the quarterback play, is been kind of a little touchy this year. It's not been up to the standards. So these games are going to mean a lot at the end of the year for the style points and reputation points for the SEC.
Brandon Boykin guilty of the penalty. 1:38 to go. On first down and 10. Right side. Give you a chance to get on the platform here.
Sure.
Texas, Penn State. Who's playing best of all right now?
I think Florida has an argument to be right there. I think obviously Texas is right there, but I think Alabama after what they did up in Tennessee. So I think those are the three teams. Penn State, I was pretty impressed with that victory up there at Ohio State. I mean, Tressel does a good job getting up for big games at home. So, we've got 5 teams I think that are legit and could win this national championship still, including USC.
49-10 with 1 minute to go. Brantley gives it off again. Moody coming left. And that's out to the 38-yard line. 14-yard gain and a first down.
Well, last play of the game coming up.
Timeout, Florida. With 44 seconds to go. Tim Tebow involving himself with the crowd. Tonight, CSI Miami and a couple of other shows that we'll get to. Here's Moody. And the rest of the lineup tonight. Don't think we're going to have another play. CSI Miami, followed by CSI, and then 48 Hours Mystery. That is tonight's lineup.
Well, here's the response from Urban Meyer to last year. Taking another timeout to get as much as he can out of this football game. He said, I'll have a response. His response has been 49-10, and I'm calling every timeout I got, and I'm going to finish the game the way I want it.
While we were away, Tim Tebow ventured all the way down to the 10-yard line and was urging the crowd on, and an official chased him down and said, get back to the bench. He was down at the 10.
Well, we'll have something to talk about next year, won't we?
No knee.
And 2 timeouts when the game was over.
Moody.
Pretty funny.
Here was Tim Tebow during the break. He's at the 10-yard line. And here comes the side judge down to say, get back. Urban Meyer, Charlie Strong. And a perfunctory handshake at midfield.
That's just the way Belichick taught him. I love it.
It's been really warm here in Jacksonville, but there was a chill at the 50. 49-10, Gators win it. They seize control of the SEC East. For Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson, Vern Lundquist, we will see you all in Baton Rouge next week.